Radio Vibes. Fresh Radio Vibes. Radio station on planet Earth. The resistant radio station. Fresh Radio.
Yes, me people, you say call we are good. Oh, me people, you say call we are good. Yes, we are good. Oh, we are good. Oh,
Out up. This is King Alibaba. I represent for the International Morning Ride Show. You know, told you. Out up. This is King Alibaba. Straight out of Make Money Record. I represent for what you don't know. The International Morning Ride Show. Every Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Oh, the vibe master man like Gadite. See me told you. Out there, this is King Alibaba straight out of Make Money Record, Jamaica. I represent for the International Morning Ride Show. Every Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with the vibe master Gadite. See me told you. Live on Freshradiovybz, your number one online radio station. Hear me told you. Pull up a tune, your money pull up here, me told you. King Alibaba said that straight out of Make Money Record, you don't know, you know. Over the bridge, this King Alibaba represent for what money pull up on this here, me told you, you don't know, you know. A Freshradiovybz now, kicking all later. Over the bridge, I want to see it, told you. When me say why the poor and have not, them getting down in whisper.
Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistant radio station. Freshradiovybz. Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistant station. Freshradiovybz.
Check. Checking for the right sound. Calling upon the ancestors. Heavy science this morning. Heavy. Gotta big up my brethren Fabian Ford. Where the proud Maroon them there? Where the Maroon them there? We are the Maroons. Yes, we're gonna unravel a lot of things this morning. If you know any Maroon out there right now, love and share, subscribe. Mad oh man, mad oh man, mad oh man, mad oh man. We just to get some of the real Kumina music, Kumina. They call you mad oh man, mad oh man, they call you mad oh man, mad oh man, they call you mad oh man, mad oh man, they call you mad oh man, mad oh man, they call you mad, mad oh man, they call you mad oh man, mad oh man, they call you mad oh man. In 1738, our people beat the British. The crown was defeated. We are the ancestors, the bloodline of Nani and Kodro, Taki, Dirty One runs through our vein. We are not Jamaicans, we are the Maroons. Never was captured. We are triumphant, and the Maroon struggle continue. They call you mad oh man, they call you mad oh man, they man. Yes. As we get inside, we're going to talk to a former colonel. He's part of the Council of Elders. He has run the Maroon town, a Kongfong town. And this morning he's not holding back. Talking about the man himself, Colonel Murdy Rowe. If you know what's going on in a Kongfong town, you will want to listen.
Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistance.
Yes, we are the resistant radio station. Yes, we make no apology when it comes on to our stand with our brothers and sisters. It is quite evident that we are fighting for our lives, especially in the corporation of Jamaica, where our ancestors have beaten the crown, and we have a fictitious government governing over the Maroons. This has to stop. When we say Maroon government now, we mean Maroon government now. Not tomorrow, not next year, but no. It is quite evident that the corporation of Jamaica has defeated its purpose, which is to capture the Maroons. Now, a lot of people out there have said every single day that when we say Maroon, it's not a village thing. It is a nation thing. We are not black people. We don't celebrate Black History Month. Black History Month is an insult to our ancestors. We are the Maroons. The number to call is 260-209, but we're not on the phone line yet to the public. We're gonna get the man himself, Mr. Murdy Rowe, on our lines, and he is going to interact with us for a time before we open the phone lines. The DJ is telling us that we're about to go over to the office. It's approximately 16 minutes after the hour. In 1738, a blood treaty was signed, and we stood tall. We're also going to go over to the British Virgin Islands in the latter part of the show, because we have some brothers and sisters over there who are putting up the resistance to the foolishness that is happening in the so-called, I don't know what you can call a Maroon Island, British. You see the audacity of these slave masters. They leave their name wherever they go and try to rob out our name. But it's up to us to maintain this legacy, alright? So we're gonna touch on the phone lines blazing up right now, and hopefully we can get access to the office of the people. Because the people are very much weary about what's going on. While I sip some tea from my Mary C. Cole cup, because it is quite evident that are we getting through? Are we getting through? We can't try, because you know how we go already. We work through the channels that we have. We know that people are intimidated just to speak. I was speaking to someone this morning, and they said, Gadites, we want to talk. We're very mindful. What could have our people under such oppression? What possibly could have our people under such oppression? As you know, we talked to former Colonel Mr. Farron Williams the other day, and we got through to him and we find out some things, and there's a lot of questions to be answered. At this time, I also want to take time out to big up the man himself, Chief Samugo, aka Timothy McPherson, who has reached out, and we are having dialogue. I'm so happy that everything is coming into fold. Freshradiovybz is the official radio station for the Maroons, and when we say official, this is the place that you can get the necessary info when it comes on to what's popping with the Maroons. As you heard a while ago, our DJ tried to reach out to the man himself. Let's just keep it real. There's a lot of other things that is going on, and as we said, several things on the mainstream is rather puzzling. Let me see if I can get one of the ambassador when it comes on to this whole phenomenon. You know that it is quite evident that we have something. Wow. Grand Rising, Excellency.
Hello, good morning.
Grand Rising. How art thou on a pleasant morning like this?
Well, I'm here in Kingston 6, up on the hill looking down on the city, jostling and bustling, so it's wonderful.
Well, I'm sipping some bush tea from my Mary C. Cole vessel, and I was trying to we're slated to talk to the former Colonel Murdy Rowe, and I think it's before I talk to him, I had to talk to you, because it's my understanding. By the way, let me properly introduce. This is His Excellency Daniel Bozra, and he has been one of those general inside of this consciousness of us embracing the Maroon legacy of 285. Excellency, is it my talk to me? You want to say something?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
We need to stop saying 285. Because it's been 285 years since the British surrendered at Kinder Tree.
Okay. Okay.
But it was 80 years of war with them before that. And 150 years of the Spanish. It's 400 and all years if it's not close. We need to acknowledge that.
Mighty God.
We need to stop making our points of reference.
Yes.
Being what the white our points of reference cannot be the white man's interjection and where he came into our life. That cannot be a point of reference.
Yes.
So the European, the Englishman surrendered. It's 285 years since they surrendered at Kinder Tree.
Okay.
Again, I will reiterate. If I claim to have a contract with your father, Lisa Blood, I have to present the original of that contract for any such lease to be valid, right?
Yes.
There is not one Maroon colonel can show you an original copy of any treaty. There was no treaty. That's a scam. That's a lie. As a fact, the so-called treaty says Trelawney Town Maroons. There was not a parish called Trelawney until 1770. So a 1738 treaty cannot say Trelawney Town Maroons. There was no place in Jamaica called Trelawney. Edward Trelawney became the governor of Jamaica in 1738, and like a typical white Ross, attempting to interject himself into your history by saying that the town, wrote a document saying that the town was named after him. So explain to, and I see Maroons repeating it over and over, and that's why I will call them dunces, because you must balls up, or better yet, you must have ovarian and vaginal fortitude, because vaginas are firm. You have to get vaginal fortitude. Balls can't take a lick, your belly can take a squeeze. Vaginas take poundings and bring forth life. We're giving the strength to the vagina. You must have vaginal fortitude. And stand up fearlessly. And that means that we're dealing with a bunch of pretending leaders who would not correct our history and the lies they told about us. They would want to repeat it to seem like them brides.
Well.
So again,
yes.
No 285 years, because it was 80 years of war before that, and 150 years of war with the Spanish. Right? Yes. There's no place called Trelawney in 1738. There was not a parish called Trelawney until 1770. So no, any 1738 document that said Trelawney Town is a scam. Brains overdubbed every single time.
As I said, I keep learning from things that you are alerting us to every single day, and we look forward to it. Now, one of the reasons why I called you was, it's my understanding that a Kongpong Town at a Ganja Fest this weekend. Are you aware of that?
A Ganja Fest?
Yeah, a Ganja Fest. I'm calling it a Ganja Fest.
I received a flyer.
Yeah.
And I saw live videos of a gathering, but it would not have been called a fest. It was not adequately marketed and advertised for anyone to come there. I guess it's another one of those things that clearly, you have some people that say they do something just to say they do it, but not to do it properly. All right, it's like a man can tell the same sex a woman, but him never last a minute. But him just can't say him the sex.
Jesus Christ, boy, I can tell you. So on a serious note, we know that the marijuana business is a lucrative one, and as all we're hearing it, this administration by Richard Curry is moving in silence, because I think the show was Saturday night, and I got it about 8 o'clock Saturday evening that there was, and I did try to reach out to brothers and sisters in a Kongpong Town, but is there a fear factor in the community where people are afraid to speak? It seems that way.
All right.
Yes.
I think one of the greatest things is the issue is that education makes a man unfit to be a slave. So my level of alacrity and the level of alacrity and clarification that people ascribe to and aspire to is what will determine the substance of their character. So the majority of Maroons not understanding their true position and their true status. It's not Maroon Town sovereign, it is the people who are sovereign. every one of us is sovereign. Our sovereignty depends on no one. My sovereignty don't depend on no one. Nobody know Maroon. As a matter of fact, I am sovereign more than every single person in the administration because they all use Jamaican government documents. These are slaves to the crown. They're just chatting stuff. So the people is not so much fearful as they are. They're just unaware and in the lack of their awareness, it leaves them unable to move or respond respectfully accordingly to their needs. Education makes a man unfit to be a slave.
Quite so. So this what are you gathering from the Herb Chronicles? That's what they're calling it, where they.
So the matter is, if you are going to do something, one of the first things you would have done with Jacana is acquired some seeds for the farmers. You would have, and then let us just go back, forgetting all of that, until the administration can see, because Maroons were robbed millions of dollars under the United Nations Alternative Development Cannabis Program. When the funding was to come to Maroon Town, listen now, the United Nations do the program, and Mr. Kendrick Wallace was sent to Colombia to go and look at the indigenous Colombian farm. Then he was sent to Morocco to look at their farms. And after that, the funding was to be released. Now, when the funding and the money was sent to by the United Nations to the Minister of Finance, when the funding was to be released, all of a sudden, it turned into a CLA program. Now, that is appropriation. That is stealing. How does a United Nations program where the money is supposed to come to their compound to Maroons, how it end up in the CLA hand under Mr. Richard Curry?
Wow.
So here he is. Like I said again, we have been robbed, because even if the program had grown 500 pounds of weed every crop, and that would have been 4 crops a year, at $1,000 a pound US minimum, while they were talking to us about 7,000 and 8,000 a pound, but at $1,000 a pound, 500 pounds on 2 acres of land would have been $500,000 US. 4 crops would have made $2 million US a year, $4 million US for 2 years. So when we hear Richard Curry, I try to distract everybody and I tell them, and his followers trying to distract you, telling them about, Ferran and the money we will find it. No, talk about the $4 million plus. Because you were supposed to put in a lab, water system and funding for water system and everything needed. There, provided by the UN. How under Richard Curry's hand it end up in the CLA hands, and then you end up with a CLA license for yourself? That is criminal appropriation of Maroon rights. Richard Curry robbed the Maroons in his own selfish desire. It is what it is. We dare them to counteract us. They can't. Here's what they do. They can't counteract. They have to remain silent, because silence is their only absolution. Shut up, they are losers. And we have proven them so repeatedly.
We've tried to reach out to Richard office, but he's not taking our links. I see where he has...
No, he can't. Here's one of the things. When you say a leader is challenged, or people say something and he cannot come out and provide clarification, he remains silent. And then if he's on a program, he doesn't want anybody else on the program. He tells them, well, make sure that man that don't come on the program. Means he cannot deal, means he wants to be able to lie without interruption. Straight. He was telling the truth and defend itself against any crowd. I stand up with Richard Curry and any of his jing bang followers. And I will articulate them and crush. I will articulate my point and crush them down in their ignorance and lies and criminality.
Mighty God, I'm trying to get the likes of Murderow, but I don't know. The last time I spoke to him, he was outspoken and said that he's ready for this sort of interaction.
I can't speak for. Yeah, I can speak. I was born in the 70s.
Yeah.
And we the children of the 70s. I grew up in Kingston. I did not grow up in the lack of access as is in a compound, because I'm here looking down at the pool in the yard, and it behooves me that a compound town has no running water while I have a pool right here. It hurts.
Wow. We're talking with talk to me.
No, and say if you're comfortable with it, who am I to not? Leave them in it. They want to wash up and not have proper running water. They like bathe in a pan to make them go and bathe in a pot.
So what do you think that the purpose of this Herb Chronicles was about? Because if no,
just another posing. Because you see, like I said, you know,
yes.
If I'm convincing somebody else to give me some money to do that, all I have to do is to say, plant 2 ganja trees somewhere. I'll put on a little function and then get some video and some clippings and send it to you and say, look, here we did this. While there was not 500 people there, but we just send you a picture and show that 8 or 9 or 25 people and that pattern, you think.
Hold on there, Daniel. I'm joined by the beautiful Opal. How you doing? Grand Rising, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, you're so hard to get. I have His Excellency Daniel on the line. Daniel, you're familiar with Opal, one of the organizers when it comes out to several activities in Akongpong Town?
No, man. I know this lady very well. Yes, sir. Whatever a member of her family was one of my guys at Wilmot Boys School. You understand?
Okay. All right. Opal, I've been trying to get you for quite a while because there's so much question on the board and I won't put anybody else except I would try to get Murderer, but I'm not getting him. Opal, you've been listening the reasoning for the last couple of weeks as far as the admission of Richard Curry and the progress that is made for the Maroon. You want to start by saying anything before you get into some of the details?
Am I on live?
Yes, you're on the International Grand Rising show. I had to.
You caught me on the spot.
Yes, I think
you caught me off guard, man.
A Maroon is never off guard because you're always on duty. Always on duty. Even though you tell me, so them tell you, say he's not a Maroon. What a audacity. My God.
No, listen again. I say that there's a bunch of Richard Curry and a bunch of dunces around him. For example, we try to tell people that they try to say I am a Maroon.
Yeah.
Yes, still the graveyard is my land because my grand. I am the first born. Automatically, my graveyard is my buried. The community center is my great grandfather's graveyard. So the Curry family and another person who sat in charge, so they have contributed nothing to the town yet. My family paved my way already and put my own there.
All
so
right.
when they talk,
yes.
Listen to most of them, love them. What them say, this made work for the Maroons is the wife of a Maroon. A former colonel. That means that's for even the team to think that as much as doing Ferron Williams' time, I may have had issues with this thing. At no point did I ever belittle her or make she look like she's not a Maroon. She cares, she love the man and the man love and the man a deal with Maroon thing. Yeah. She's a Maroon and anybody tries to say anything else is a drunk and they need to fly away.
Christ. Opal, that sort of defense you can't get any more forceful. Are you on the job or you can give me a couple of minutes for reason? Can you?
I can give you about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm in the middle of something.
My God. Mm-hmm. Tell me about yourself and your contribution to especially Akongpong Town. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, since 2015, late 2014, 2015, I was a visitor there and I realized that there were things that needed to be put in place. Mm-hmm. And I quickly jumped in because my experience as sales, because I worked within the hotel industry. Yes. In sales and marketing and management.
Yes.
So that I would help because I really fell in love with Akongpong, the Maroons. Mm-hmm. I loved everything about them, but there were things I knew that needed to be corrected. So I quickly jumped in. So I never went there with trying to get any financial assistance or anything. I went there to assist financially, which I have done over the years.
Yes.
But I don't know, people seem to have gotten personal. They were saying that I am not a Maroon and I'm taking over and I'm trying to take money out of the town, which I was putting money in. So that's the reason why, hence my being there and my connection to Mr. Ferron Williams. And when I realized how he was treated, mm-hmm. he was unfairly treated, he was lied on, disrespected, and misunderstood.
Yes. Yes.
I decided to back him because I hate injustice. And I knew that he loved people. He loved them. Because at some point I would say to him, listen, just pack up and leave these people. Because a lot of time I would say we're very ungrateful. People that he assisted, let's turn it back on him.
Yes.
And I realized what was going on, and I said to him, you know what, let's go. I got fed up because they started to get into my house, my household, my personal life. They disrespected me for no reason, because these people know nothing about me. And I said, let's go. But he insisted to stay.
Yes. Yes.
And, there are a lot of negatives out there, and I can put my head on the block. You know, I don't really want to go into any details. I don't want to create any animosity. And I know that these people say A, they'll say B and C and D, and it just go on and on and on. It's unending.
Well.
And I'm not into any fight with anybody.
No. This morning, like several other mornings, we're aiming at getting some answers for our brothers and sisters. The office that Mr. Farron Williams occupied was the office of the Maroon, just like how Richard Curry is occupying the office of Maroon. This is not a private enterprise, this is a public enterprise, and they're a public figure. Now, up to scratch now, you work under the administration of Mr. Farron Williams, and what are some of the achievements that come out from that administration?
All right. Initially, we were not an administration that would walk around and beg or create GoFundMe or anything like that.
My God.
The little money that came in was basically from tours, which was very minimal, because when the tours come in, by the time you pay all the expenses, the tour guides, everybody, was nothing. So what we did achieve was through whichever government in power, we would get a little assistance here and there. And one I can remember is of Culture, where there was a grant, and a lot of farmers got 25,000, 50,000, and even some of these people on your show that are tearing Mr. Past Colonel down benefited, their household benefited from this. And there's a 30-seater coaster bus that was donated through the same ministry that has been used now by this administration. When that bus came into the town, a lot of threats were sent that they never wanted a bus, they wanted water, so they were going to destroy the bus. We had to relocate the bus to a police station down the road. And after the election, you know how it went. Mr. Williams lost. And that same night, they were asking for the key for the same bus that they wanted to destroy. And that bus is not being put to use, because I have a copy of a contract that was signed, and the reason why the bus was donated, it has not been used for that purpose. School children are not being taken to school there or back. And you know, it pains my heart to see the hard work that was put in. And I mean, anyway, and another achievement while I was there within that 8-year period was over 100 houses through Food for the Poor. Over 90 houses, were donated through Food for the Poor. That took me about 4 years, because we were back and forth to Spanish Town, back and forth. Most of these people were even taken off the list because they were not eligible, as Food for the Poor would say. And we did everything. We made sure that all the elderly persons who were in need got houses.
Yes.
And even the road work that was done, it should have started from a compound. It never started from there. I guess the finances ran out before it got into the town. We were always in talks about water. We tried 100 different ways to try to get water into the town. We did everything to get the roads fixed. Every now and then, and funeral grants, I'm not sure if it was done before Mr. Williams' time. We started before his time, but during his time, you'd have to speak on that. During his time, we got funeral grants for persons.
Yes.
There were so many things that we want, and there were so many more that we wanted to be accomplished. But financial wise,
it's my understanding that some arrangement was made where families get some compensation to take care of the burial. But now that we have Daniel here, were you aware of a water project that Daniel had spearheaded for your Kongpong Town
community? It was not a project, you know. Let me be honest. Yeah, man. It was not a project. Let me just say.
Yes.
It if you're going to build a house, the first thing you need is the costing from the contractor of how much blocks you're gonna need, how much nail, how much cement.
Yes.
What I had done was went to Israel and got the hydro engineer to give us a costing of what it would take of materials in reservoir, quarter miles of pipes and pumps and filters up to the tank and the cleaning of the tank and pumps and filters to send it around to the town.
Okay, so it was a survey and that was done. But I'd love Opal. Can do
Yes, I was.
while Mr. Williams was there? That was on his desk. You were aware of it. Was any move to that implementation or further carrying out to see if this was feasible done by the Farron Williams administration?
Initially, in the middle of his last term,
Yes.
I know Mr. Barrett had approached him, not with any documents. We never saw the documents, but I know that he was in the process of getting this information. And we are no longer in power, so
Yes.
I'm not sure if he had approached the no colonel. He'd have to speak on that.
Yeah, man, he has a copy. He has had a copy. He has actually lied because I presented that copy to somebody else, and he said to them, "Oh, that's not for the community. That was for a private water project." And I was like, "What?"
My God.
And the people went to him and said, "Mr. Curry, how is it that Daniel Buzzer is in the town and has this? This is a required step in order to get a water system in the town." "Oh, that's not for the town. That was for a private water project." Richard Curry is a liar, and I will declare him so consistently.
Talking about Richard Curry, Opal, what's the relationship? Is this a stranger to you, or is it somebody that you have interacted with and you've known personally? The Richard Curry and the street.
Okay, Mr. I met in November 2017.
Yes.
Was I was at the Maroon celebration in Moortown. I was introduced to him by his uncle, who was then Deputy Colonel, Mr. Curry, Melville Curry. And we sat and we spoke. That first day we gelled. We spoke for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours about the whole Maroon and everything. And we said to Mr. Farron Williams, who was seated there at the time, and I said to him, it would be good to have a young man like this on board, if it's even to be our PRO or to represent us in Kingston, because Mr. Williams to be back and forth. So, and he was quite busy, so we wanted to get Richard on board. That time I don't think he had any interest in really representing the Maroons or anything, but he said okay, he would do that for us, and we'll go to meetings.
You're cutting out.
Sent his resume to Mr. Sent a copy of his resume. The rest is history. He attended a few meetings, particularly the marijuana project. That was this time he had that.
Opal, I don't know if you're traveling, you're chipping out, and I need to get every single drop of this information because I have people online here that is writing all kind of things. I have a Ninja Guy 3 who said that this is hilarious. He said that the author, which is I may be referring to, wants to badly be in the limelight. He's defending former enemies, and I don't know if the Richard followers figure more or less that this is a divide and rule thing. You need to leave my
no, hold on. Listen, this is the issue.
Yes.
The people do not. When Mr. Farron was there, he was not my enemy. Mr. Farron was my elder. He was in class with my mother and my uncle. But in his professional capacity, if I found faults, or if I had a problem, I would articulate that openly. Now that he's not there, why what do you want me to do? Hold and vex with the man?
No.
Tell whoever said that a while ago to shut up. That they say you're yapping like a Chinese.
No, but it's
whoever said that.
It's ridiculous for people who are not Richard Curry to keep on defending Richard Curry because I don't know why, but this is a public man. This is a man who have run a public office.
But then the issue is that here what they keep doing, they keep referring back to Farron like Richard Curry must be in there. And nothing not being done. You know that money was sent to fix up the field in a compound dig up and couldn't keep a proper ceremony. You put out a GoFundMe 2 years ago, it collect how much US dollars, how much $1,000 for water, and we don't hear no move towards the water. So we must not talk about that. We must talk about Ferran, who is no longer there. You are to tell me that I must be stupid and show I'm not showing animosity to Richard Curry. Richard Curry is nobody in my real world. He is just at present holding a particular office that's supposed to carry out a function, and we're not seeing that function carried out to no level. Up to this point, Richard Curry cannot show one thing he has accomplished and brought to fruition. He has given us lots of ideas and lots of talk and posing, but name one thing he has done from start to finish successfully. So you must talk about it. I'm not going to bother with Ferran. If Ferran get re-elected, anybody who is in the position, we are going to ask questions of that administration. Ferran was there when Ferran was there. I was the only voice talking and questioning Ferran. The rest of them would shut up. So now Richard is there. I'll continue to talk. Tell whoever that they said. It is a dunce.
I think they're listening. But seeing that we're in the dunce area of the classroom, Opal, talk to me about this celebration of January 6th, because we have a figure here of 1.6 million Jamaican dollars that has been put forward as the whole gathering of that activity. You have been there, you know the ins and outs of that. Elaborate a bit about, does that figure sound practical to you?
I will not speak on that. Listen, that's how I am. I'm a fair person. I'm not there to divide, to conquer, to create any animosity or anything.
Yeah.
I will only speak on what I know of.
Yes.
And I can speak on Mr. Ferran Williams, the administration.
Yes.
He's no longer there.
Yes.
There's no interest in going back there, but he'll still love his people. Right. I have been attached to a lot of people there, and I'll still be attached to people there. And I don't want to fear for my life to go into a Kong Kong. I'll go in and out as this. And listen, I have nothing to say about what Mr. Curry made. If he said he made that, then he made that.
Yes.
Okay?
But hold on.
When Mr. Williams, should I finish? When
let her finish. Continue, Opal.
When Mr. Williams was there, the fee collected was $500 to go in, and no Maroons were charged to go in. Sometimes the people would pay $300 or $200, whatever, and we would take it. And we went as far, we made 1.2 million with $500 and $300.
What year was that? What year was that, you may ask, when you made 1.5? Was that in like 2015?
1.2, not 1.5, 1.2.
1.2. And that was about...
I'm trying to go back because 1 year it was free. No one was charged because of COVID.
Yes.
And the other persons were... It wasn't open. It was really for the Maroons, that celebration. So there was no charge to go in.
Yes.
So it was a year before that we made that. And when we made it, persons were questioning, how is it you only made 1.2? And we're saying, remember, we're only charging $500 to go in.
Yes.
So I cannot speak on what was. I know it was $1,000 to go this year. And parking was charged. But it's not my place. It's not my place. Hold a moment. It's not my place to say if they made that. I could not, and I would be rude to say that. It would be out of my place to say that. And I respect everybody, and I don't want any form of disrespect because I've been called names because I'm just speaking my truth.
Yes.
I've been called names, I've been torn down, I've been disrespected. Mr. Curry and I have a very good relationship. During the Ganja project, we would talk on the phone. In a Kong Kong, there was one celebration where I spoke with his aunt and he said to me, that's Richard over there. And I walked over and he jumped off the wall and he hugged me. We would pass and kiss at each other, hi to each other. And I would like it to go back that way. I don't want the disrespect, but I was a part of an administration that was accused wrongfully. So I will be upset and I will vent and I will say things because I know that these are lies. If Mr. Williams was a thief, I would not be a part of his administration. I would not. Mr. Williams would take the money, last cent out of his pocket, out of my purse, to donate to people in the field. There was never any large amount of money coming in from anywhere. And we survived. He was not paid. It was voluntary. Those visits to Kingston, to Food for the Poor, to different organizations, the whole Ganja Project thing, to meetings every month, to the Ministry of Agriculture, it was not funded by Maroons. It was not funded by any money collected in a Kong Kong town. It was collected from Mr. William, the pension that he gets at the end of the month. Sometimes by the time Maroon pays, he has no money to survive on. So I just want to put it out there
Clear it up.
and just clarity. I do not want any animosity. I don't want to speak against Mr. Curry or against his administration. He knows why he's there.
Yes.
And when Mr. Williams was there, there was a fight going on, and I don't want a fight to go. He's there.
Yes.
I just want him. Election within a week or two, the town is back to normal. Nobody hates anybody, because I've realized that everybody here is related. It's a domino effect. If you hurt Mr. Williams, you're going to hurt somebody in Mr. Curry's family, because they're all related.
Yes.
So ask for peace. That's all I want. But in the same breath, I just want to clear the air, because Mr. Williams is no longer there. So the onus is on Mr. Curry now to come and clean what was there. If you rent a house, listen, if you rent a house and it's dirty, you're going to clean that house and wash the walls and move
Make
it.
it better.
And make sure that you keep it clean. Make it better. And that's what Mr. Curry needs to focus on. Stop listening to people who is putting him on, pouring him against Mr. Williams and myself and people from the past administration. During the campaign, people from our campaign were threatened. From our team was threatened that they're going to burn their house down.
Wow.
I could not live comfortably. I mean, it should not have gone that way, because Maroons are different. They should be set apart. They are different people. They are different class of people. And I've always respected the names of the Maroons before going into the town. When I got there, I got a culture shock.
Got a wake up call.
Need to clean
you got a wake up call. But
Daniel,
hold on. I think Daniel wanted to interject, but he wanted to respect your platform.
Because all I'm saying is simply this. All I have to say is simply this. If the year before, if you say if 1.6 million is what was made, you're attempting to ask the Maroons to accept that is only 1,600 people came to 6th of January. That's $1,000 a person. 1.6 million means it's only 1,600 people come there. While it is widely observed and acknowledged that it was a bumper crowd, it was more than many years previous. So at $1,000 a person, make us say we know it was closer to 10,000 because it was from the night before the 5th, and the day of the 6th and the night of the 6th. Monies were collected. So at $1,000 a person, at least 5,000 persons come in a Maroon. Non-Maroons came in minimum. So these from $4 million should I make? That's not, go around the maths. Anybody try to go around the maths is lying. So I'm not going to say per se that it would be Mr. Curry's responsibility, because he was not at the gate. It would have been his responsibility to assign credible, non-criminal minded people at the gate. That would have been his responsibility. But any appropriations that would have taken place, it is because whoever was at the gate, because there was, if it's more than 10, if it's more than 5 to 10,000 people was in Maroon Town at $1,000 a person, you can't get 1.6 million.
So as I said, people, we're not here to tear down a person called Richard Curry or a man called Richard Curry, but the office that he does operate under belongs to the people. And I would say this to Ninja Guy 3 said that the GoFund is a private people giving to a cause they agree with, and that is much better than traveling and going to Jamaica. I don't know, these people have their things mixed up, because the minute they want to say they don't want nothing from the government, but yet still the leader of the opposition is in hands and gloves, and them have all kind of delegates from the Jamaica establishment.
Wait. Ask them, why is it that since that's the situation, why is it then that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Culture were invited to 6th of January, which they declined?
Yeah,
but Mr. Curry sent out letters of invitation to them. Secondly, there's nothing private about no GoFundMe. If it's private, it's a scam, because it was about, if the GoFundMe said to put up a water project in Maroon Town, that is still begging. That means you cannot conceive yet as a leadership. You can't conceive away $1 million.
Give us the story and that do you know about that building? Is that building for the Maroons or is it a private enterprise?
I won't go into it because I know you had interviewed her.
Mighty God.
One and say I won't elaborate on it.
Daniel, are you comfortable with? I did talk to Mr. Ferren and he said that it is built on land and the funds that build it per se the Maroon government, but it was more of a personal project between himself and others. And Opal has just confirmed that is the matter, but we know that it is occupied right now by the Corrie administration under the premises that it's Maroon money that orchestrated that building.
So what we're seeing is an administration that is not bent on doing anything for in and of itself, but is seeking to appropriate anything that they think was there before that they should claim. They have not done anything because that is what I am seeing. You understand me? So when somebody talk, I say, boy, go for me was begging. Some are begging from trade as opposed to begging from the government.
Yes,
it's still begging.
Yeah.
You understand me? But we had said to Mr. Corrie and his administration, we said to him to listen, you are Ashanti people. We are not Moors. We are not Muslims.
No. Nation
we are
of Islam.
Ashanti people.
Yeah.
And we are Ashanti people. And I said to him, I said, sir, we need to make the connection with the Asante Hini and his family. I said, the Asante Hini's personal wealth is $1.6 billion. That means him could have easily just give $1 million to Maroon Town just for the Maroon community, sending an entourage. I have a letter of invitation to bring an entourage, a group of people to the Asante Hini. I contacted the King of Kings Palace in Ghana, Manfia Palace. So I said to him, the African Union said they wanted to put their headquarters in a compound. Just give them the 20 acres and watch them start putting in roads and infrastructure in order. They would have put in the water and everything. You know, the beg no go for me. Give the African Union, they declared they wanted to put their headquarters in a compound. Each African country would have given $1 million in developmental funding. But small minds will remain and only seek to do small things.
There seems
we're thinking global.
Yes.
If you think global, you're supposed to link the Asante Hini. The Ashanti people, the richest set of people in Ghana, they would give you $1 million just for being of the same bloodline.
Yeah, but hold that thought. Because Opal, are you aware of some gift that was sent to a Kongpong town by the African brothers and sisters, like statues and so forth?
Yes, it was in the building.
And why were these gifts given to the Maroons in a Kongpong town? What was the premises?
Okay, we have a link with Ghana. In 2016, we had visited Ghana. So these were gifts that were promised to us, the community,
yes,
the African brothers and sisters here in Jamaica.
And that was like a friend to say, well, we have something tangible, right?
Right.
It's my understanding that after the Williams government had been replaced by the Corrie administration, these things was destroyed. Are you aware of that?
Well, I saw it on social media because they actually put it on social media with it being burnt.
It was destroyed, burnt.
Yes, they had put it on social media.
Yes.
I just happened to see that. We have not been back in the building, so it was there for the whole world to see.
And this was destroyed under the Richard Corrie administration.
Yes, sir.
Someone say to me that is all fabricated because they cook up lies all the time. Daniel, are you aware of that?
according to Miss Opal said she saw it on social media. I saw it on social media. It was there. She can't be like, the videos are still. This is what you have to be careful of. Someone said this is all fabricated. Say what is fabricated. This is how they talk. This is how liars speak.
Yes.
Liars do not give you precision information. They just say, all they're saying is a lie. No, you need to say that is a lie or that is a lie or that statement. Be specific. You can't say where it's a lie, so you just show it a black. That is a lie. That is the response of cowards and weaklings and losers. Real people are definitive in their speech. That means that when I say Richard Curry end up with a ganja license from CLA, I make a phone call, I have it in for me. Richard Curry call me and say, boy Daniel, say, boy, them take the ganja project. So I say, we have to go fight it. Boy, I can't bother, I just look a license for myself. Because of what I do, I have my phone, my phone records. Even this I get recorded, I'm going to have to go delete it.
Yeah.
Every conversation on my phone is recorded. And goes to storage somewhere.
We have that technology.
So nobody can tell a lie on me.
Opal,
so we have that.
Opal, were you there as far as the ganja project? You know anything about that project? Because I think Saturday night about 9 or 8:30, we got a leaflet, a flyer saying that there is a Herb Chronicles happening in a Kong Pong town, and it's such a hush hush. What kind of light can you shine on that area for us?
You're talking about shining light on what happened Saturday night?
Away from about the whole ganja, the ganja.
It's happening under this administration.
Yes.
It is Curry that needs to speak on it. He is the colonel.
No, but you were this initiation took place under the Freshradiovybz administration first, and then it was adapted.
It was also public. But it was public. It was published. It came on television. The signing of the contract, everything was there for the entire public. The now administration is aware. Everybody is aware. So it's not something that I need to say or to speak about because it was out there. And Richard was also a part of it. So
no,
he will
but
have to speak
what I want to ask is, did Mr. Freshradiovybz see this as a private enterprise, or was it for the Maroon community? Did Mr. Freshradiovybz approach it at that intersection, or it was?
It was public because during that process there were workshops set up from members of farmers in the community, which I spearheaded, and at least 40 people in the community has certificates right now that were trained in that aspect. It's through CLA. So it was nothing private. We had 100 and something names sent to CLA to have them get their IDs and stuff. All that was in place. So that could not be private. It would mean my household or a couple friends.
Yeah. So with you saying over 150 individual names on a list, it's our understanding that Richard Curry has a license. Is it known to the rest of Maroon community that they also?
No, that license is not reneged. License, but
it's
at the time, he had a license for himself.
Yes.
For himself.
Yes.
While he was previously in charge of the community ganja program, let it go and went and acquired a license for himself. That's just what it is. The community has never been given an explanation. And then to get a CLA license and bring it up into a compound is violation of the sovereignty that you are now claiming. When I stood up and I was saying nothing, Richard Curry was silent while I was saying this is criminal and this is wrong.
Yeah.
So he violated the sovereignty first by getting a CLA Jamaican government license and leasing land in Maroon town and putting that CLA license. He just signed over Maroon license right to the Jamaican government. We never need a license for go with a Maroon town. So how you get license and come lease land to put it a Maroon town? Go at Chilani with that.
We are getting a lot of, and I think Ninja Tree has just come around to say that he's not here to pick any side. He's actually here just to get things straight. He said that inviting dignitaries to a function of historic people is different from begging the government of Jamaica. He's not defending anyone, only looking at things straight.
Within the letter of invitation, funds were requested.
Oh my God.
Tell Mr. Whoever Ninja whatever that. See, this is the problem. Because this man who is talking, while he's just yapping like a Chinese, need to go and do discuss a topic you have not researched. If Daniel Bazra about something he has previously researched. If you ask me about something I've not researched, I'm going to respond truthfully and say, you have to give me something to go and chop about that thing. So anything that this person, Mr. Ninja, is commenting on, make sure you comment on things you have researched. Other than that, you're yapping like a Chinese.
Yes. He's upset about the burning of the gifts also. But Opal, I don't want to keep you too long. But Daniel, let's just point it out that when the colonels invite members of the Jamaica government or dignitary, for a better word, as what a Ninja Kid said, they also make private donation. Are you aware of such practice?
I can speak for all for the time that I've been there. Over the years, previous administrations, because when Mr. Williams was the colonel, he worked under both administrations. And they were given for the celebration. If there were any shortfalls and you'd ask them to assist in any area, then an invoice would be sent to them. If I owe you 500,000 or 200,000, we'd send an invoice to them, and then they would pay whatever they can pay to the person's account. That's the type of assistance we will get. It's not like they'll come and just say, here's $2 million. That's not how it works. Through the ministry, they'll assist. If we need a bus for the community, we ask them, we have to tell them and show them all the needs that we have before we can actually get it. When it comes to functions like this, they will assist where they can assist. They won't take over the entire project, but they'll assist when there's a small shortfall. That's what I'm aware of.
I was speaking to the former colonel, and he said that the last celebration of phones and $1 million was exchanged. I don't know how truthful it is, but rumors on the street that sort of gesture was by private brothers and sisters. But when these funds are accepted, is it marked in the Maroon the government's book that, listen me, such and such has contributed, and then when you have the town hall meeting, just like how Richard said, 1.6 was made from the gate, and then maybe another 2 million from private. Is that paperwork for the community accessible? Do people know these information when your government was in place?
Oh yes,
it was transparent.
Oh yes, it was.
Daniel, yes sir.
Let me say this. I will speak to all previous administration. Mr. Williams, this one, and the ones before that I remember, Murdy, come down to Petty, all of them. Here's the issue now. If you give me $1 million, I need to give you a receipt if I'm operating on proper standard business practice. And then, what would all of this questioning would have been allayed if the people, if they were supposed to be a receipt book that every chief or every member of the administration who collects anything supposed to hand the person a receipt and says, Chief Curry received $1 million from Roy Del Rowe. I make Roy Del Rowe sign it. So when people are saying receive $2 million, you can go back and say, see the receipt of the man's ID. That is proper business practice. This idea of consistently administrations come up and tell you can't tell me nothing, you can't tell me say $5 million when a $10 million depend on the paperwork. What would guarantee transparency is records. You can't tell nobody say your name. You can't tell nobody say that girl you're a girl until you can show a record name, marriage certificate, and only married that day. They show me the records. Don't you're asking me to accept it that you are proper, perfect, and prim. No, I don't know you. We will trust the paperwork, but I will trust your chat. Don't give us a chat. But because they were eager to give our people, right now you draft up a document and give the most Maroon. Most Maroon say this them because you know so them can't read a show off, you show off on them. And that them say about me, you know. Me never know so much of them couldn't read, you know. Or read effective, you know. So me I present them with documentation and them feel like I show off on them. So the administrations need to get to that point where everything must be documented.
Hold on, Opal is going to interject. Opal, you were going to say something?
I said, present me with signed receipts from the president. So if somebody give the colonel something, if somebody give the town something, it's supposed to be signed. You must have a receipt book. It must be not a hearsay.
All right, Opal, what you wanted to interject with?
Well, there is always paper trail. Even after every celebration, a breakdown is at the meeting, which a lot of people don't turn up at those meetings. But a breakdown is always done. How much money was collected at the gate, how much money was collected from the vendors, how much was paid out, and there's always a deficit. There's always a minus 300, 400, 500, 600,000, whatever. And that is where Mr. Williams come in. He has to find the money. What he usually does is pay all the Maroons first, and then people like Mr. Cowan, which Mr. Cowan, if he's here in this program, can confirm that we rent the stage and the chairs and everything from him. His bill is like 300,000 or something. The police that was at the gate, their bill is like 300 and something thousand. At one point, the police was calling Mr. Williams and said, "Listen, we want our money now." And these monies were to be found. We had to actually go to the ministry and beg. We had to beg from members of parliament, councillors. Mr. Williams had to draw whatever he had put aside in order to clear the embarrassment. He had to not answer his phone for like a week because he never had anything to say to these people. So this is where everybody knows that the breakdown is done. The lady usually does the catering for the VIPs. Her name is down. 150,000. And the police 300 and something thousand. Whoever a breakdown is done. I'm not sure if it is done. No, and I don't care. But I am telling you, it was done then. Mr. Curry is there, and you can speak to him. Maybe he has receipts.
Yeah, I have tried to reach out, and Ninja Tree. I'm not trying to look famous by questioning a public figure. I think you're putting some very personal here as to, the author and as far as accusing and all those things. You cannot play me, my youth. You have to understand, say I'm not stupid towards this. But the transition between the Ferron Williams administration and the Curry administration, it seems as if it wasn't a smooth one, because we have tape here where Richard is coming out saying how much money he met in the account. I'm asking you, Opal, was there a diplomatic, smooth transition between the William administration and Richard Curry, or is it a tension right now where, as the chief said, the colonel said, nobody's talking to anybody, and he has reached out to Richard Curry on more than one occasion, and Richard have shunned him?
Yes, I can speak on that one. The night after we knew he won early in the evening, and we said, okay, we'll reach out to him in the morning. The next morning, we called his phone, went to voicemail. We sent a text to his phone congratulating him and telling him that, maybe not word for word, just letting him know that Mr. Williams is there as somebody with experience, and whatever area he needs assistance with, he's willing to work with him. And, we wish him all the best. And he is asking people to tell them that they should work along with him and just, get over this whole election thing and just let us unite as one and bring the town, continue bringing it, the way we want, in the direction in which we want it to go. Those were the wordings, because I was there and he sent it. And it wasn't delivered. So we assumed that, well, maybe something is wrong with the phone. So I had his email address and I emailed him, and I copied his cousin Carol Barnett and Alma Curry, his aunt. They were all copied on the email. And one by saying, respect. I am, what was the word? I'm trying to remember. One was appreciating the fact that Mr. Williams reached out and is willing to work with the administration. And Alma, I know, said, great, Mr. Williams, I'm proud of you and whatever. And thanks. So they received it. And this email I sent to Richard Curry is an email that he sent his resume on, the email that we have been emailing back and forth. So during the election, that's the email that we would use when they had election meetings. So that was up and running. So his aunt and his cousin responded. He didn't respond. And at one point, a letter was written to him given to a member of his council. We call him Popeye. And he got that because the reason why he got it, because we sent a copy to Mr. Rowe, who is the JP and the principal for the school. He's also Mr. Williams' brother, but he's a very neutral person.
Yes.
So we took a copy of a letter to him, and he was to go down to Mr. Curry's house because by then there was so much animosity. So he said to Mr. Williams, give it to a member of his council. He's here, he's on staff at the school. So we took it to Mr. Lennon, as Popeye, and we left for Hanover. And when we left, Mr. Williams' niece called and said, Uncle Popeye left a letter here, because when he approached Mr. Colonel, he said, "I don't want nothing from Ferran. I don't want nothing from Ferran." That was his words. So the niece kept that letter. So I'm saying there were areas where Mr. Williams reached out. He did reach out. And there was a time when we were in Sablamar and Mr. Curry called Mr. Williams. And by the time we hung up, someone from the community saying, I heard Mr. Williams and the colonel on the phone. You know, apparently he taped it, he sent it to persons, and they had it all over the town circulating. So there's no way you can reach out to somebody who is trying to disgrace you every chance they get. You're trying to disrespect you. You understand me? And I'm saying, every election, everybody comes together within no time. If I take over and the person before me never performed the way I thought is best in the interest of the people, I would call a meeting and say, Mr. Williams, I would like to have a discussion with you. I am sure Mr. Williams would have had a discussion with him. And they sit around the table and him say, listen, I notice that there is some discrepancy here. Can you explain this to me? You don't pick up the screen and set up in the town. Ferran thief that and see his name and that. She take that. That is what, hold on, it started out by accusing the former administration. And you're painting a very bad, true or false, you're painting a very bad picture, and then the people looking up to you are going to say, Ferran a thief, him damn thief, and him thief this, and you drive past people, thief, care about the money come. And that was the behavior of the persons. So if you're a professional person, very smart and intelligent young man, Mr. Curry is, call a meeting, sit him down, members of his past administration, persons from his selected persons, and say, Mr. Williams, explain this.
Explain this.
And that's what we would have wanted. Because when he put that thing up in and we went down to the bank. We went to the bank and said, what is this? Because if we have this much money, I want it. I want to see the money because we never know we have that money. And then we learned that Mr. Curry went to the bank and was disrespectful to the people at the bank because they wanted access to every account that is down there. And he never had his way because his name was not in any account.
Yes. Hold on.
And then he never took the time to call a meeting.
Here's what is alarming. Here's the issue. Resolution is the trait of kings. Now, if you're a true king, a true administrator, you try to resolve things. You try. That's how you move forward. So when Mr. Williams was there, I mean, the whole world actually it is agitating against the things that I found wrong or perceived to be wrong within Mr. Williams' administration. That Mr. get so deep into Maroon because when there was problems in the town, it's the same Maroon for people them. No, what we see is rather as soon as when Mr. Williams after the election, I made sure that Mr. Williams understood, and we spoke, myself and Mr. Williams, for a long time and understood, because he's known that Mr. Williams, this can't go on, know that you're not colonel no more. You know, so with that, and I went through everything, administration, and why I hit out against it. And then he gave me his side and said certain things himself, boy, I know, I'm sorry, I never know that, I never know that, You understand me? We had that conversation. Straight as a big man, we have to resolve it. When he was chief, it was nothing personal against Mr. Williams himself, because I don't know this man. This is a man who went to school with my mother up in a compound town, me and him in class. So I can't have nothing personal against this big man. In the office that he was, I had a picture, and it was vice. and verbalized and made public. When him lose, see him wife here ask her, go reach out and say, listen, you're not the chief no more now. I said, no, but I feel that you personally know that you're not chief. I tell you why I did not hit out against this and that, and why I never did listen to me when they said to do that. I never did make me. You understand me? And then he told me his side. We're still not friends. It is with respect that he is my elder, as the elder Maroon. I cannot be his friend. I am a child to this man. That is what we're talking about. That is the kind of level of responsibility. If you genuinely love the community, you cannot perpetuate agitation in such a small community. So then, it behooves me to observe that Richard Curry is the first chief colonel to win an election and not have any of the people that ran against him in his administration.
There's no
Mr. Ferran Williams, Mr. Williams run against Maroon Edwards. Mr. Williams win, he makes Maroon Edwards that's been a tradition because clearly the people who put up themselves for election are clearly at the top tier of people who have concern for the town. That's why they did put up themselves for running election. So to leave them out of the administration means they don't want people who care. Richard Curry is the first to do that. Richard Curry is the first colonel to have a private inauguration. You're supposed to, that means you don't even inaugurate because the tradition is supposed to officially take your oath in front of the people. Yes. It's a public thing.
Yes. Not
first, we never see that yet. These are the things that when you talk about these things, people think you're attacking him personally. Richard Curry is soon dead and me soon dead and the whole way after so dead. What about the children's children and their great-great-great-grandchildren? That is the issue. This is the losing style that we have. People at 50 still trying to do things for themselves. It's waste people them.
Yeah.
After I reach 30, by the time I start get kids, all my focus supposed to be on them. I see my brother and my sister them start get picnic. I may have niece and nephew. That's where I focus on. We don't hear you hear nobody planning for the children. You have children in Maroon Town getting 18, 19, 7, 8, 11 CXC. And we don't hear none of them can reach university. But we expect the town to progress. Hey.
All right. But Opal and
hold on. One thing before you ask me.
Yes.
Before you touch on that.
Yeah.
A scholarship was done during Mr. Williams' time at Bethlehem Teachers College, and this is the third batch of persons that he has sent up. We now have had one teaching at Magati High, one teaching at Irwin High, and those were 2 different years. And then there's one now who's on her finishing up right now. So there are scholarships that were offered, and there was also one that was in the mix, but it came to fruition. So,
all right.
And I think that will be continued. It should be continued.
Yeah, but then we are Maroons and the whole world will globalize the thing. Daniel Baja went out against the Prime Minister and bring highlights Maroons as a reality. People say, boy, I never even know so them still around. Listen, the NCU in Manchester as a Christian university would easily give us, if the chief and any administration request of them, just simple meeting, good afternoon, we have these children. We look into scholarship. And you go to NCU and you go to UTEC and you go to UA.
What I'm saying,
I'm not saying no. What Mr. Williams did could be multiplied on that level. That's what I'm saying. I could do it bigger, so we have that. And then you go to the teachers' colleges too, because they're young Maroons who want. We're supposed to be seeking it from embassies.
Remember, United we stand, divided we fall. Yeah.
Right,
every kernel has different focus. Every kernel has different focus. One might come and want to do farming. One wants to put some houses in a Hong Kong and put a little scholarship here and there and assist here and there in funeral grant. No, a young mind is there now. Come with something else. Just add to what is there and don't tear down what was there before or disrespect what was there before. That was Mr. Williams' time and that done and gone. But if nobody is perfect, I'm sure there were mistakes made during his time. And I'm sure mistakes have been made right now because the mistake that is made now within this administration is division and war and disrespect. That needs to stop.
How I'm seeing this, what you wanted to say, Excellency?
Again, one of the first things we say to him, and we say, yo, You know, if you keep a celebration dance, you know, if you keep a unification party in our town, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
These are simple actions. I said this, I uttered this to him. It says a unification party if you keep it, and I keep a celebration dance. After you're done with, unite the town. You're supposed to invite everybody. And all of you must make that open gesture. Never been done, rather than not personal. It has nothing to do with neither Daniel Buzzer, nor Opal, nor Ferran, nor Richard Curry. It has to do with us. Not just a compound, because we need to widen our focus. What about the other Maroon town?
Yes.
This consists, we need to bring that together, rather than we saw an attempt to get involved in the politics of another town. No, we're supposed to unite.
But hold on. Let me ask this question. Between yourself and Opal, is there a council of elders to oversee what the current? Is there anything
I don't know. That has always been in place. One was never announced. I see the colonel put out attempt to put out a document called claiming it a constitution. And in nowhere in that was there a mention of a council of elders. So we know that one has always been there, but we don't know of anyone existing present.
But it's my understanding that if the colonel set up a council, that is not going to be an opposition. That's going to be a yes man, because
he's not supposed to
continue.
The council of elders, the colonel can't set no council of elders. It has to be the elders who come together and do that. And they're not supposed. It's not an opposition. It is supposed to be a verification and validation process of anything what the chief would do. He's supposed to pass it to the council of elders, which would then communicate that with the wider community. So if you show and say, listen, support the colonel in this, because this is what the colonel did, and this is why it's going to support this. Or the council of elders can also say, listen, that's a good idea, but what about that? Do it that way, or don't do that and do this, because this is what you must have that. Other than that, you're attempting to run a dictatorship by vote, and then all you're doing is going to just look like to the world, you're going to just be seen as a big joke, which is what is happening right now.
Opal, are you aware of anything like the Council of Elders? Are you aware of anything of that? Opal?
I'm trying to respond to that diplomatically.
Yes.
And I don't think I'm the right person who should be asking that, though. I'm not sure. But I know that there are some elders that came together to form a council, and I know that Mr. Curry was totally against it. But I am not sure who is, as Daniel just brought it to my attention, that it is not the colonel that should put that together. It should be members of the elderly persons in the community, or elderly Maroons that should come together and form that.
And if you're doing a constitution, and you're not putting the council of elders and entrench it in this constitution, that means you try to do away with that too. But you're entrenching in the constitution all the rights of what the chief can do. But you disregard, and there's no mention of the council of elders. That shows that you don't even care about that. You're looking at dictatorship.
We're getting news that the constitution was rewritten by Richard Curry himself. Are you aware of that, Daniel?
I say I don't know. There was not a constitution in my eyes of any liberated people and an indigenous autonomous people who had open public discussion. What we saw we saw a document posted on a notice board and says the people can go there, go read it. There was no open discussion. We didn't know when they were saying what it was. And we are saying, if you function, here's what beguiles me more than anything else. You claim to have functioned in corporate Jamaica. Understand corporate function at the highest level. We have functioned in corporate Jamaica. We still function in corporate Jamaica while interfacing in commerce. So the reality is that there are standards. So now if you know the standards, remember when you work at the bank, you have to give daily records of every expenditure or whatever and show documentation, and left it on file. So how bring that to the community? Bring some of the development, they don't know why you're doing things the same way. And also come and tell the people say that, man. Present and say, look, here's the documentation. We have an accounting firm that did it. There's standards. You're not supposed to. This is not a youth club where you have a treasurer. You're supposed to have just as all governments and all administrations have an accounting firm as operating as the accountant general.
But I was
to make sure that everything goes. And when it not goes to, it's the government make a slip up. It's talent the government that's the accountant general information source of the government and there's fraud in the government. And the accountant general when you work in banking, you would have demonstrated the professional acumen and lifted the Maroon activities up to the highest standards. Best they come with it was a GoFundMe.
Wow. I think I had Opal here for a good while. I want to let her resume to her normal thing. But Opal, a pressing question is coming in because the Maroons have their autonomy from the Jamaica establishment, for a better word. And what we're hearing right now, it's like as Daniel said, it's a youth club the Maroon has been running for couple administration well, because if you're really responsible for yourself, you're supposed to have even a Minister of Education, a Minister of Health, a Minister of Resource as a government. But I think that is not in place. Opal, do you believe that past administration did not set that trend for Richard to follow? So maybe that's why some of his ill is showing up at this time.
I'm not talking about his ills. I have not pointed out his ills. The only ill I've pointed out was the lack of unity. Mm-hmm. But just to clarify though, as I said, I'll only speak about the past administration.
Yes, I asked about the past. I asked about the past. I'm saying that.
The list one accordingly now. Allow me to respond, please.
Yes.
That was formed. There were ministries. There were many ministries. Minister of Roads, mm-hmm. Health, mm-hmm. Entertainment, everything, mm-hmm. Culture. Mm-hmm. They had all those ministries set up.
Were they active?
Those were in place.
Were they active?
They were active. They were, well, the positions were open, mm-hmm. but there were some people who were not doing much, or they weren't working as much as they should have been. But those ministries were set up, just like in our government here, we have the ministries, but not all of them perform. Mm-hmm. The problem we had in our compound, but those ministries were set up. Everything was there were paper trails as it relates to financing. Everything was in place. Mm-hmm. Everything was in place. And even if Richard came in and it was not in place, the onus is on him to put that in place.
Yes.
So we're not speaking about what was there then or back in Mr. Petty. Because if you look at it, Maroon people back in the days were, most of them, no disrespect, were uneducated persons. There was just maybe a little school in the community. Nobody was going to a Magati or a Mannings or wherever. I mean, over the years, we have grown. Everything has been modernized now, and we have Maroons who have accomplished a lot. They have their masters, they have their PhD, they have their whatever. So, I mean, they have evolved, and with every time that it evolves, there are improvements. So Richard now, as a young person, intelligent guy with his degree, with whatever, he needs to come now and add to what is there. Mm-hmm. Mr. Williams is a generation behind him. Yeah. No, he's a young guy. He has a platform now to extend on what is there. Leave whatever happened back in Mr. Petty's, Mr. Whoever, those people from back in the days, Meredith Rowe, Ferran Williams, leave those guys alone. Mm-hmm. Let us build a compound. And I'm appealing to Mr. Curry, when you just came into the community, you were a gentleman, a decent young man, and I expect, when I heard that you won, there was nothing wrong with you winning. Mm. And I'm saying that kudos to you, congratulations to you, continue doing what you're doing, but remember, think about what you're doing that will hurt the names of the Maroons. Try to unite. I'm saying what he should have done after he won was to call Sheldon, Meredith, Ferran, all the persons. I'm not sure if I left anybody out. Mm-hmm. Call them, have a sit down and say, Mr. Ferran got over 400. How many votes he got? 400 or something votes. Those 400 odd persons try to link them back to your 700 that you got. You 600, unite up the thing, man. You know, unite the thing. That's all we're asking for, because when you bash Mr. Williams, you know, his 400 odd persons are feeling the pain.
Yes.
His family is feeling the pain. Unite the, hold on, Mr. Barrett. I'm just saying that's my parting words. We need unity. Because every time that you say something negative, your people are getting angrier and angrier. To a point where Williams was threatened. There are two persons I can call the name Openly Wayne, Bagger. They were threatened that they would burn their houses down. The bus was supposed to be destroyed. You know, as a leader, come and say, come on guys, stop. Let us unite the thing. Let us move forward in unity. United we stand, divided we fall. You can cuss Mr. Williams, you can cuss Mary, you can cuss Sheldon, you can cuss anybody, but remember that there are persons who love and respect them. Mr. Williams was always loving in the community, even working outside as a policeman. He would come into the community, he would help people over the years. He had a bond with a lot of people, not just in a Hong Kong, in Maroon communities. People are still calling him when a family member dies in Aberdeen or Garland or anywhere in the community. He's still helping people. People out there are still loving him. Unite Sheldon with his amount of people, married, everybody come together. And I'm sure you'll have unity. If you have a problem, Mr. Williams, talk to Mr. Williams. If Mr. Williams have a problem with this administration, he should be able to pick up the phone and say, listen man, this is not the way to go. If you do that, it will hurt. Let us build.
Daniel.
That's all I'm saying.
Daniel, you wanted to say?
Well, I cannot say that in the light of what Miss Opal has said.
Yes.
And that is where it is supposed to be. You see, the woman is in tune. This is where we're supposed to be. Meaning, the reality is that if I criticize anything I criticize, while I criticize Mr. Williams, and while he was there, I presented an answer for everything. Everything I said, that you do wrong, you're supposed to, I gave you a way you're supposed to do. The same thing with Mr. Curry. You understand? Remember, this is about all of us. So I want my children to have a Maroon ID. A Maroon ID that has global function. So I took the time, along with Mr. Dennis Foster and Mr. Buchanan and other people have concerned about Maroon's advancement, and went through the process and got to the call, you contacted the United Nations and all international bodies and to find out how to get an ID recognized that it can be used at banks and every country will accept it. And we went through the process. When Mr. Curry, we had actually made IDs, waiting on an administration to take it up. Mr. Curry come in and say, "Want the ID?" I went to him, I was sent to him and said, "Look here, we have the machine, this is it, and we're ready to show you the process." We were totally ignored. Our ID come out that still never come out. And then I made a mention, I said, "You can't do an ID," and then come out with one again. And that ID right now, if you send some money from Jamaica and give a Maroon and say, "Use the ID that I collected," him can't correct it. That means he's just doing it to say him do it. It's not functional. But people in the community come and show us, so we know exactly what to do. Same with the water project. That was from 2016 I spent that money. Because I realized, hold on there, need a man but the problem is water. It's the biggest problem. The tourist board will be sending 50 buses up into a compound every day. The people at the tourist board tell us that. But there's a list, and on the top of that list is water, hygiene, and if you don't have that, them can't send nobody else.
Opal,
so it is fundamental, even for cash inflow.
Yes.
We made the effort and set the steps. If a man is never build a house and somebody already go get an architect and design one, we're not going to fight. Me know that I just beat it up myself rather than take the one. And if I'm an enemy build it, may I take it and say this is the best way to do it. It's called best practices. So whoever present the best practice, we must follow. That's who you must listen to. And the man who are counteracting supposed to come with something better. Yes. So when we counteract Mr. Curry, we counteract Mr. Williams, because we come present something as a better alternative. No, you're a leader. It was the first step in leadership. It's to interface with other leaders. Mr. Curry, when he has not had a meeting officially with E, the first thing you're supposed to do is to go visit all of the rest of Maroon chief them and say, "Yo, See me swearing in here, me and the new chief from a compound. Yo, respect how we have to work together. What was there on the table? What we need to do? And then you go to all of the chief them. And then the next thing you're supposed to go to the Governor General and make an official visit to the Prime Minister office. These are your call. Hello, I'm calling from the office of Chief Curry. Right. We'd like to make an official visit and take an appointment, and they will give you a date as with the Governor General's office. They are functional. And you next thing you go to the diplomatic corps. And if it's a road you want to fix, you say to the German ambassador, say, can you find something? Because if these embassies are funding for that, they won't give you the cash. But they will send a group of engineers from your country to come and build roads. You have 52 African nations who will help fix everything. Those steps have not been made. That means you ran for leadership without preparing. You wasn't really ready. You just wanted power. Because if you really wanted to develop the town, all of these things would have been carefully studied and in place. So that when you win, you hit the ground running.
Opal, Daniel touched on something a while ago. Was the Farron Williams administration aware of the Maroon ID that was offered by Mr. Dennis Foster?
I was aware of the one that was offered by L.A. Lewis. But when LA came in, he never came through Mr. Farron Williams. He came in through the back door, as a friend of mine would you always say, a Maroon. He entered through the back door. So I think this whole thing broke down from that point. No talks were held between himself and the then leader of the So I think that there was a breakdown there. But it's also in his manifesto, Mr. Williams' manifesto, in about the IDs that he wanted to do through his government at free, at no charge.
Yes.
So I know that Daniel always speak emotionally about it. He was also an advocate for the ID. Yes.
Well,
the thing with guys, it's not just about saying you want to do. This is the game we don't play. I'm not going to say I want to do Maroon ID. I'm not going to spend 2 weeks to 2 months. 2 years to research how to do it effectively.
Yes.
This is the problem. This idea of just doing something to say you do it, rather than doing it for it to have an effect. You need a Maroon ID since to tax you. When you go and buy something, you go buy a phone card and you show them the ID. You see the part that says tax? You can't pay no GCP, it must be tax exempt. You're supposed to use an ID and clear your goods duty free at any war. These are rights that must be exercised. And if you're not ready, if you don't know that, listen to the people who know these processes and stop trying to go on like you're trying to make yourself a star. It's not about you, it's not about me. That's why I go research what to do to benefit everybody, because it's not about me. I don't need no position in Maroon government, you know. I shine as a blazing light just standing by myself in any crowd. My level of articulation and knowledge displayed already speaks for itself globally. We're not dead so. We still use it for being highlight, because all we did was to highlight Maroon and we're right. And articulate those rights. And we have said, this is a way to go. You must do it at the highest professional standard. Any Maroon ID to be effective. It must mean that when I go to war, it seems like how the American Indian goes and they think tax exempt, there's no tax. Other than that, what we presently have is what we have achieved that saying, in sovereign, and get a child and give that child a Jamaican birth certificate. You're making us look like monkeys to the world. If you're starving and you get a child, that child's supposed to, and you are the chief at the head of the stream, and that child to get the first indigenous birth document, nationality document for sure. That's what they must do. You have all the reason and the power. So 1 minute you're telling the Prime Minister that you're sovereign, and then you go register your child as a Jamaican citizen. You're making us a laughing stock. Means you're posing, you don't really know what to do. You're just talking and repeating what you hear. If you are the chief and you say you're sovereign, why are you using a Jamaican driver's license? When you have the right as an indigenous to the freedom to the right of travel. Hey.
Conflict of interest. But we covered some very good round this morning, and I think those always You cannot answer the questions of the present administration. So we're reaching out to, Richard Curry. I don't want to talk to his people who like him. If you're a part of the administration, I think it's up on you. The onus is on you to come and talk to us, the people. You're working for us. We're not working for you. And after you get out of the office, we're going to put somebody else in there. This is something that we've been doing for eons. But of course, as what Daniel said, the protocol for the government of Jamaica, the Maroons stand over the government of Jamaica. And I think over the years gone by, we have seen a likings where colonel and chiefs have tried to appease the Jamaican government, and the Jamaican government worked for the crown. The crown was beaten by the Maroon. Let's not put the cart in front of the horse. We need to put the horse in front of the cart, whatever it takes. And I want to thank Opal for her intake. I was trying to get Murderer. I'm going to try to get him later on. And of course, His Excellency Daniel Zebaz, as always, not mincing, and he has nothing personal against any individual. Neither does Opal. It's about getting some answers so the next generation don't have to face the challenges that we are facing right now.
Making progress. You see, there must be progress.
Yes.
It must be made apparent. It must be made evident.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Mm-hmm. You don't just talk it. The people, water is, and look now, them say water is life. So right now, the fact that there's no running water in a pump means you appear dumpy up there.
Opal, is there no running water?
Where there's no potable outside of the rivers and streams.
Yes.
But we are in 2022, 23, brethren.
Yes.
There must be effective water system. There's a council of overseas Maroon. You think they would have come together and guaranteed something like that for them? For the community that they came to represent.
Thank you so much for...
No, but these are fundamental. You know, remember, I took the time and went and found a company and said, look, how do I put in? And they said, listen, you have to get an engineer. And they gave me one of the engineers, and he came and we spent 3 different days looking at how to put in a proper water system. We look at the land and said, this is better for a reservoir. We can dig it and line it just like how we do the reservoirs down in the backside in the sugar factory. Yes. And we can do and dig it, and then we can measure how much the distance up to the tank. We went into the tank, how much to clean out the tank and put in new lines and filters. This is what, and we have the costing, how much it costs. We have exactly how much it's going to cost. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. Yo, at 2,000 people, more than 2,000 diplomats in Jamaica. If you go to the embassy, they will say, look, now look $100 for each person from your country who wants the Maroon project. I'm at $200,000
you were going to say something, Opal?
Yeah, well,
hold on, Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Barrett has spoken.
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken.
Mm-hmm.
And all I've done is to clear up the air as it pertains to the past administration. I cannot speak for this administration.
Thank you.
And I know that you'll be having Mr. Curry online.
Yes.
Respectfully, I say that some of these questions, you can leave them for him. It makes no sense we're going to be here bashing and arguing. We just made our point and made it clear. And the onus is on Mr. Curry now to come. And because I know he has some GoFundMes that were set up, water and all of that. So I am quite sure that he must have some follow-up to that as to how much money was made and when he's trying to start a water project. So let us not say he's not doing it. Let us wait to hear what he is saying. And after he does make his speech, if Mr. Barrett or anybody else is not happy with his response, then a part 2 can be made here.
Stop calling me that, that's my father's name. I do not do business. Them said the international law says you do business in the name of your slave master. You dishonor your ancestors and nobody not honor you.
Oh, Jesus.
You know my name.
Daniel Zebaz is not Barrett. It's not Barrett. But I'm away from that. A while ago, last but not least, Daniel touched on something, because we're seeing that, like myself, who is not inside the corporate island that called Jamaica, we're outside, but we're like a voice for the voiceless. We're a lot of brothers and sisters outside of Maroon Town who lives overseas, is very, very much in support of Mr. Curry, and whenever you say anything, they tend to take it rather personal. For the brothers and sisters outside. Was this a part of the Farron Williams government to have that sort of outside interaction? Was there people outside that was orchestrating moves on behalf of the Maroons in a Kongpong town for Mr. Williams?
Or you're asking me, am I to understand, you're asking that if the overseas Maroon helped in any way?
Yes, if the administration from Mr. Williams had that sort of relationship where they were much involved in his administration.
We were very close to the person who was in charge, Miss Barnett, Carter Barnett. She is the secretary. And she would call her she was a very, very good friend of mine, and she would call very, very often. And whenever she's not happy with something, she would call and say, Mr. Ferran, I am not happy with that. And then he would listen to her and say, what do you suggest? Whatever. And there were times that I would say, is there any way the overseas Maroon could assist financially? So the reason why that is not done is because we have no money to do it. Is there any way they could set up something that? And she said that no, and the councils, it's not there anymore because they would have fundraising and nobody paid for the tickets and nothing was going on with the fundraising, so there was no money. But ironically, right after Mr. Curry won, the jail were back in full swing and they were sending financial assistance. So I'm not quite sure. I won't speak on that. They'll have to speak on that.
Wow. But
we never got any assistance at all. I know Ms. Barnett was a good advisor. She would call and sometimes she would have some very good advice. Sometimes it's not everything you would agree with, and it doesn't mean that everything she followed. But she was always there to guide us and pull her skirt tail or pull Mr. Williams' jacket tail. I would hear them argue all the time on the phone, and they were like, okay, cause, and they would part with, amicably. But she was always there. Anybody who is there, because when Meredith was there, I know she was there. Mr. Petty was there, she was there, because I know she loved the whole Maroon. She loved Maroons.
Yes.
She loved the Maroons. I can say that.
Daniel,
the Council of Overseas Maroon is a registered.
Hold on.
There is a 501c tax-free organization in the United States with one person's name. It says council, but it's only Coral Barnett's name is there. That means, listen now, it's a 501c. What that means is that it's the Council of Overseas Maroon. So, like the water problem, and said, listen, we want, and they went to anybody in America that makes the best pumps and said, look, we need a pump for this community. The company giving them the product will get a tax break for giving them the product. So we still don't understand how the Council of Overseas Maroons was consistently involved in Maroon business and decision making and telling Maroons this direction to go. Have a 501c, which could more than help. Must have been intended to do something while you register it as a 501c to go through the process of registering it. Excuse me. You had a, and you understand how the system works. So in that organization, and you have been following up all different colonels, you actually, what's the only thing we have seen was that the Council of Overseas Maroons drafted and presented a constitution that said that it's the Council of Overseas Maroons. All international business from Maroon must pass through the Council of Maroons. You would not literally help, but you would not help. When you have 501c corporation, the Council of Overseas Maroons is the name, the registered name of a 501c United States corporation, which makes it tax-free and tax-deductible. That means anybody who gives them anything, if they go to Pepsi and Pepsi gives them a container of Pepsi, Pepsi write it off and get tax breaks for giving it to that company. If they go to the factory that makes tiles and gets tiles, they get a tax. Whoever gives them anything gets a tax break.
My God.
So why has nothing been done? Why has nothing been done? And why did you give us a constitution? If it's a concern that you want, give a constitution for you in charge of overseas business from Maroon. And you have this opportunity to have this corporation. Why has nothing been done? You look like a kirk and you have been following up, as Miss Opal said. They have been there through several colonels. Why? Are you just seeking power for yourselves?
Silent partners.
capture.
All right. I think we have covered a lot of ground. I have to go over to the British Virgin Islands. Now I have some brothers and sisters over there. This will be rebroadcast, of course. Opal, thank you so much for your honest evaluation of the Farron Williams administration. And of course, Daniel Z. Bazra, as always, very information. I have a lot of good information to present to our brothers and sisters as to the way forward. We're not here to tear down any person. We're here to tear down the administration when it's not operating in the benefit of the Maroon.
Not the administration, issues, a specific issue. So as the issues come, we deal with that issue and correct that issue. If people are found and responsible in the issue, then so let it be. If the truth shall kill them, let them die.
Mighty God. Hope I'll enjoy the rest of your
I am chosen.
Yes,
then say I mean chosen. The information, the knowledge, the articulation, and took the time and the effort proposing it.
No.
Again, if the truth shall kill them, let them die.
Mighty God, thank you so much. That is the one and only Daniel Z. But we're trying to get the man himself, none other than, Mr. The chief, the colonel, former colonel, Mr. Murdy Rowe. We have our DJs are working on that. The number to call is 260-209. If there's anything that inspired you to get involved with this sort of reasoning, you can call me at 260-209-8730. We're here Monday to Friday to look at the issues, not only for the Maroons in the place they call Jamaica, but Maroons globally. This is a global government. When we say Maroon government, nothing else no makes sense. We're so serious about it because the corporation only subjugate our people when they document them and give them documents. You me out there calling yourself a Jamaican, calling yourself a Vincentian, calling yourself a British Virgin Islands, calling yourself an American, or all of these corporation names. Get your true documents. Until you're documented, you're nothing more than a subject. That was very interesting. We are going to head over to the BVI because we understand that we have a bit of developing story that is taking place, and we are going to dig into that story as far as the election that is unfolding over there. Is mockery, for a better word, and we see elections springing up all over while there is no queen. The queen is dead, and her illegitimate son, that is called King Charles, or whatsoever Charles that culprit is slated to take up the mantle on May 6th. A lot of these Masonic brothers and sisters who are at the lower end of the Mason snake, they are going to kiss his ass, but we have no respect for you nor the so-called Charles, because we don't see him as our representation of royalty. He's nothing more than an invader, and he carries stolen property of our ancestors on his throne that he's going to sit on. Let me just big up the Corporation of St. Kitts and Nevis, of course the Dominican Republic, Trinidad and Tobago, the Corporation of Jamaica, Barbados, and of course we also want to send a big shout out to Bahamas, our brothers and sisters over there. We take time to stand in unity with our brothers and sisters over Haiti. We salute you. We need you to know that. Grenada, you've just celebrated another facade of independence. We also want to support our Maroon over there in Grenada, our Maroons over there in Bermuda, also the Maroons over there in Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Maroons over in Antigua and Bermuda, and of course our Maroon brothers and sisters in the British Virgin Islands. We are the Maroon government. We're not looking any clout. We're not looking any fame. We stand predominant because these corporations that you've heard me called out, that is run by the crown, is actually under the Maroon government. Our identity is Maroon. We're not going to be separated by waters or branding. Whatever brand that you're compassionate about, whether you be brand Barbados, brand Bahamas, brand Haiti, brand Grenada, you're all just brand cows and goats. Because your real appellation is a Maroon. And you need to tell your children these things. You're not a black man or black woman. You're defeating the purpose because black have no status whatsoever. We're going to stay here until about the next hour. And as I said, we're going to go over to the British Virgin Islands to get some more goodies going. Keep it right here. I'll be right forward.
Radio station.
The British Virgin Islands. Could you stop us for a minute? Stop us for a minute right there. Just to let you know that we have some story here. It seems as if the son of the queen that has dead, the one and only bastard King Charles. They say that Buckingham Palace unveiled the official emblem for King Charles III coronation, featuring a circular floral design created by the acclaimed British designer behind Apple iPhone design. The emblem designed by Sir Johnny Ive, who was previously the chief designer officer at the tech firm Apple. He is a person who do it. Let's go over to the British Virgin Islands. Almighty God.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This honorable please rise. Honorable judge presiding.
Yeah, this morning we're looking at the mothers for the club.
Present your opening statement.
Yes, you.
And she resigned, my God.
Nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Some people in Total are telling me I should get into politics. You ain't afraid to sing about corruption, why tell it? You better get that I can't stress.
Half of them politicians in some farmer's camping nest. So when they tell you about that, they call you friend. Tell them they lie.
For your best interest, they say they looking.
Tell them they lie.
When they make promise before election, watch them straight in the eye. A pack a wolf in sheep clothing.
You too damn lie. You too damn lie.
They only want power.
You too damn lie.
For future.
Damn lie.
Damn lie.
Yeah, the phone lines are open right now. 260-209-8730.
Counselor, what's next?
On the government to the stand on charges of corruption in the labor department. The government in the sunshine promise they looking out for we best interest. Like the labor minister fall asleep, that department is in a mess. The one you have in Virgin Gorda, you need to get rid of she. I hear she bank account
I wonder if Cindy's alright, my God.
money. When they tell you that they will rearrange,
Tell them they lie.
equal rights for all boys,
You
they
look
tell
in
tales.
them. Tell them they lie.
They don't stand for corruption.
Look
Watch them
them
lie. All of them is the same damn thing.
They too damn lie.
Selling out for money.
Too damn lie.
Forget about the country.
Too damn lie.
They too damn lie.
Counselor, the next witness, please.
Your worship, the prosecution.
I wonder if
the
are you
department
calling the
to
office of Premier?
On the oath.
The police department like you don't see. They way out of hand, freedom criminals and drug dealers in police uniform. They one always on the radio, professing to be Christian. All he good for is campishness and running outside Oman. When they tell you they will protect and serve,
Grand
tell them they
Grand
lie.
Rising.
Try to fool you with all of them sweet words. Tell them they lie.
You're not lying to me, Etta. Are you lying to me? Because I'm too tired in the building nowadays. I can't trust a soul, Etta. I can't trust a soul.
If you can't trust me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw you in the dumps.
Mighty God, people are backbiting people left, right, and center, Etta. Grand Rising, what you doing?
Bye. Just relaxing.
I guess
Enjoying it.
I guess you're going to get your
I'm
finger.
just relaxing.
You're going to get your finger red up sooner. You say like, in the year and a bit going on.
Election when?
election ain't coming soon. I see candidates saying that how much they putting up themselves and thing. Or is this an election or a selection?
The governor stop running the country.
If the governor stop running the country, listen to me, the governor not running the country,
Yes.
Etta.
So who running it?
It is not a leader Wheatley running the country.
Not a leader can't spend no money, so he can't be running the country.
Right.
If they take away all them budget from them, come on. I stop telling me stupidness like we went to school.
Well,
come on.
To how it look right now, it look like people suffering deja vu down there. But I hear that your good friend from Virgin Gorda, she has surfaced. I think that she's not running under the boys club. She was that Shereen Flax, the Honorable Shereen Flax.
She probably wants to spread her wings. She can't get to soar where she
can't get to soar. This is a lady who said that police and drug dealers telling lie and politicians telling lie and don't do anything. She's like another Rolling Stone gathering no mass.
Well, I was told this morning listening to something that those in power can't do anything. Their hands tied.
Mighty
kissing.
The funds are not being released, and we have election coming up. This ain't looking good at all.
It don't look good at all.
This is another laughing stock. That's what's going on right now, eh? But
yes, sir.
She, Natalie said that she did not follow the requirements to run again in the next election.
Hey, I just said to file the first paperwork the first time. So don't come tell me now she a mumu now all of us, so she now to file a paper the second time. Please don't underestimate the people in intelligence in this country. Please, we don't fall for trickery now, profanity.
Mighty God.
I'm getting like, you know.
Mighty God. You're not taking no check at all.
No.
Well, I is there a date set for election? Is there a date set for it?
No date has been set as yet. They have to disassemble themselves. When they disassemble themselves, then they could set a date. If they're still in power, how they gonna run for election?
That don't make sense at all. That don't make sense at all as to what.
Not making sense. I tell you, I don't know who they're trying to fool.
They are putting their best foot out. I'm trying to get in contact with several brothers and sisters, but you know, it seems as if the look is not as how they want. You know, I hope that they can sort out them things quickly so we can move forward. Because I don't hear nothing at all. But I understand that a old lady died. The lady died because the ambulance won't work. What's up with this ambulance story I'm hearing?
You better got money.
What you say if you don't have money?
The private ambulance is free, you know.
Jesus, peace. With all those little cars that is driving over there, you still have ambulance problem?
Well, remember the country is growing. It's one ambulance in one location can't provide for everybody. Come on.
You know that the international public is listening to you, and when you say one ambulance to serve an entire 34 square miles, that don't sound good at all, you know, Etta. That don't sound good at all.
Why?
That sound like people is being stifled for the right down there.
Okay. If that's how you want to put it, that's the best way to put it.
Why? My God. It is what it is. You know, we're looking at this story. You have this fat chicken down there named De Castro. The teachers, them striking left, right, and center. We hear that the teachers said that there ought to be a protest soon on the island. Any truth to that story?
I can't verify that one as yet.
Why? Let me see if I get Julian. We'll have and see if we can talk more, although the House Speaker have become rather silent of late. He's not taking my calls, he's not answering my call at all. He's like avoiding my call, you know, and Julian is outspoken. UK wants to reform to go further before lifting order in council premier. They're saying that they want to milk the country a bit more before they give any power back to you. Think we're just going to give back to the locals anytime soon?
Well, I don't feel so, but let's hope for the best and see if we can make a difference in presenting ourselves.
Unprecedented number of VI teachers resigning because of low salary. Are you still spending US in the British Virgin Islands or not having no own money now?
No, we still spending the US.
Then how come people are left the island and no US up too? So them are left down there where spend US and come up here in a cold where a US them are. That no make sense, Etta. That no make sense.
It don't make sense.
That no make sense at all.
It don't make sense.
The cool up body, no teachers, you know, hear me. You better no march for no money down no more than come up here and I cool. You might not have alligator skin like me to survive in the cold. You know, and I wouldn't advise I wouldn't advise you to leave your nice country to come up here and stuck in cold. Etta. That don't look good at all.
Nah, sir. Cold make me sick. Let me stay to the heat.
This is
the cold make me sick.
Yeah, boy. Right now, I want to see if I can get my documents to return as some minister down there. But we see some new heads coming for Grand Rising, Doctor. Welcome to the forum. I want to, before I go any further, I want to tell you thanks for putting the pressure on where we're seeing Shireen Flax has surfaced up, and the big story today, Doctor, is that Shireen is not with the boys club anymore.
Politics is in the house.
That information firsthand, even before Grand
problem.
Hold on.
Those who are the pure and righteous spirit that walk with the Okulus, I greet you all.
Yes.
I got the information before she even posted.
You don't know her situation.
Hold on. Let me mute Meta a little. Yeah, you were saying, Doctor.
Yes, I was telling you, I got the information even before she put it on the press.
So what led to that decision? They said that is because she can't read. I mean, she can't pull out her political papers. Why she is in
Let me look. It has nothing to do with if she's this woman is highly educated, and one of the reasons why she's getting pulled out, why she pulled herself out, is because we made known the fire that was coming.
She know
out of the way.
She know the kind of government that is running, and she can't play a hypocrite anymore.
She can't do the hypocrisy anymore. And on top of that, she knows that those of us who are coming together and putting our feet on the ground, that we are going to start putting fire down. She was no part of that.
Mighty God.
There are those people who understand the warfare when it comes to spirit.
Spiritual warfare.
Even if they try to talk exactly, and every last one that comes, when they do their nastiness, and I call over on areas like the radio station, and I strip them publicly before everybody, they realize so said, so done. And so now when I call and I start putting and blazing fire, persons are now who are thinking, look, I'm not going to go down like the others. I'm going to step out of that arena. She sees and she knows of the deception that has been done to the people. She knows that the people have been sold for less than a loaf of bread. That is why she's stepping out of the way, because she knows that the time of the Nkulus are coming when we who are standing in the rightful place, because we are our ancestors, we are now going to blaze a fire like never before, and things will begin to happen that they never thought could be humanly possible. So those along with her Now that you have heard the message yet again, my advice is, as she has stepped out of the way and removed herself, caution would tell you to do the same. Else,
I don't think the rest of boys club going move out the way. I have a picture up this morning calling them the mother of the club. I for one was very much surprised that Shireen, who was the voice of the voiceless, became one of the biggest puppet for the Virgin Islands party under the political banner.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay, the last time that we spoke,
Yes.
what did I say? I said she went to fight with a traitor.
Yes.
You cannot go into a war arena and then you're bringing to you the weapon of the enemy and thinking that you're going to win. Happen. When you look at Whitley is a typical descendant, seed of one of the slave masters that was right here in the BVI. And I will continue saying that. Look at the background of these people. Go to their genealogy. You will find a white man. You will find a white rapist, a white pirate. You will find them. So now she is saying, look, I want nothing to do with what is happening with this so-called government. I don't want to be affiliated because the filth that is happening, where I see them lying down and spreading their legs so one man could jump on the other and doing abominable things. Those who have seen that persons are deliberately getting killed so that their blood could get spilled on the ground, so that way they can do their different witchcrafts in order to do what they need to do. Don't think the murders here that are happening in random places and in gruesome execution is happening by accident. These are sacrifices that they need. They require blood.
Yeah, I noticed Marlon Penn have a lot of blood in his constituency, a lot of blood flowing, and my thing with the club is that it's like a cropping lizard, it will change its color, and I believe that just like how you see Carvin Malone change from green to red, then he go back to green again, Ronnie and Myron, all of them, they have learned the art of camouflage, and I believe that is what's happening with Shireen Flax. Shireen Flax have learned that.
Yes, snakes can shift into different colors. Nonetheless, they are still snakes. And it is up to those who are walking on 2 feet with the machetes blazing fire in their hands to cut the head off, not the tail, cut the head off and watch it die. Make sure it dies. And if it doesn't die in time, burn it.
Yes, we have to disassociate ourselves. It says that outspoken legislator and junior minister for trade, economic development and agriculture. I don't know how she have so much portfolio as a junior minister and we don't see nothing for agriculture done.
Which outspoken? This woman only spoke out when she was campaigning.
Yes.
This woman's outspokenness then got a bit of water in it, and her fire blazed down when she became minister. Now, if you notice, she's been going from one level of quiet to another level of quiet until you stop hearing about her altogether. Altogether, when they're making it seem like, oh, there's such an odds. I remember I was over in Virgin Gorda and I saw all of them partying. Don't mind they're in the house. They were partying, boy, all of them. They were having a brilliant time, drinking, drunken with the blood of their people, enjoying themselves, while people don't even have an ambulance. That if someone is, as a matter of fact, someone died recently because there was no ambulance to bring that person down to
Doctor, we're not talking about a so-called third world country. We're talking about a place that spend US dollar, that have people who are.
This is not a third world country. This is a fifth world country.
Oh, Jesus.
Blaze fire where we have to. This is not, I wouldn't even call this a country.
This is an enslavement camp where the slaves are very obedient.
They are an enslavement something, but not a camp, because a camp gives shelter. They are a roundup of compliant slaves in the open field, and even while they're getting scorched by the sun and almost getting heat stroke, they bow to the master and take the rest of the heat from the concrete under their feet.
Wow. It says here her announcement was made on social media. She didn't have the common audacity to common courtesy to actually stand up in front of our brothers and sisters so they could question her. When I saw it on social media, I bust out with truth. I had a big laugh because I was like,
sorry, Dad.
That's okay, Etta. For a woman of her stature, where the people was believing in her, she couldn't even have a little eat out over one of our people, please.
Correct.
And announce it properly.
You cannot expect different from an empty vessel. Empty vessels make a lot of noise. They can sound good because they're ringing loud. But when you look for the warrior spirit, for the benevolent Nkulus that's supposed to be talking and standing within those vessels, these things are empty.
Well, I just got stopped by a gang of guys and women on the street, and these people are not happy. They're not happy with the politicians. They're not happy with the behavior. They're not happy with doing things. And they were in there by the people, other people, and they look like they're forgetting that. I don't know what the problem is. As the doctor say, if we put you in power and you feel like you don't want to be with the party you're with, come to us.
Yes.
Let us hold your back. Let us, stand the grounds with you. Unless a lot of them are scared and afraid,
No, but
something is going on in this country.
it's not a matter of scared. They, as the doctor said a while ago, they have drinking all these rum and eat all these cake on the benefits of the brothers and sisters who were supposed to get looked about. Shireen Flax was the voice of the voiceless before she started hanging with the Rat Pack. And when she get in with the Rat Pack, she don't remember why she was there. She is going on to say that noting that she will be seeking re-election in the 2023 general election of the Virgin Islands. Miss Flax said that she will not be doing so with the Virgin Islands party, and she said that I must part ways with the Virgin Islands party. Let me see if she go into details. She said, while I am grateful for the triumph and the obstacle which I encountered along the way. Triumph and obstacle. Etta, what kind of triumph and obstacle she talking about? I don't see a triumph and obstacle. She was obstacle to progress because she went and sided with these club members who actually don't like her. And it is quite evidence that they don't like her from long time, so they join her and silence her, and now she's coming back to the very brothers and sisters that she has abandoned. She has abandoned our people and then coming back to play the puppet show role. Shireen, you need to call me, because if you don't call me, I can promise you one thing, that the party, whatsoever party anyone want to go in, the club members, we will shine the light on you and we will bring it across. It goes on to say that she encountered obstacle. It was clear to me that at this stage I must part ways with the Virgin Islands party. As of today, I have tendered my resignation. Mighty God, I wonder if I can get the one and only Sir Julian Willock, because he's supposed to have everything under par. I wonder if he's running. We rarely get any call from Julian Willock. He doesn't answer our call anymore, because one time we usually could have called this brother and he would answer his phone, but from he's gone into power commission of inquiry, finding out about that Seacoast Bay situation. Nothing of the sort with Julian Willock. I can only try to reach them, people. I can't force them. But the doctor will join us back in a bit. She said that her resignation is tendered as of today. That was yesterday. Flax thanked the Virgin Islands Party Congress and her colleagues in the House of Assembly for her introduction to the trial by fire. What is this trial by fire that they're talking about? My God. She also said that as imperfect as the circumstances may have been, we work together to see much done, and this is my great pride. Pride, the downfall of Satan. Flax go ahead and noted that her works in public is not ended, as she said there is still much that needed to be done to maintain the security of the Virgin Islands for the generation to come. After you sell out the damn country, you are going to tell me that you are... My God, I wonder if them people are really take up for some jackass. They take us for some educated fool or something, you know. Yes, man, my brothers and sisters, we have to wake up to the fact as to what's going on and face the music. Flax said that it is known I have never abandoned the job, so let the question go answered. I am seeking re-election to continue the effort which has been endorsed to me. If it is the people's will, I will continue to be their voice and champion, even if I stand alone. What a piece of bullshit. That's pure garbage right there. I know that the lady herself, Cindy, I was trying to get her just to get her take, but you know, you'll see I know that Cindy is suffering from a bug, and she may be not available. My God, there's so much things that is been going on, but it is what it is, people. We have to work with it. The number to call is 260-209. We had to put a little limelight on the BVI. We will continue this scenario because it's not good, you know what I mean? I need you now, Windy. I need you now. My God. Yes, what a thing. But you know, get well soon, Cindy. Get well soon, and you know, I hope that we can have some form of reasoning to get to the core of it. We see where people are not really coming forth, but you know, hey, what are we supposed to do more than just work with those who want to work with us, and those who don't want to work with us, we just leave them along the way. But I do hope that Cindy get better real soon, and we can who we trying to get now? Who we trying to get? I hope we get somebody substantial right now, because I'm in the last 20 minutes of this show here, and I don't intend to stay on over that 20 minutes. Let me just pick up all the Maroon office again. I'm getting a lot of vibes from the Maroon office. Thank you so much for putting in that sort of rep. We are 2 hours and 33 minutes in. There is so much things I wanted to ask Mr. Meredith Rowe, but he's not in his office at this appropriate time. I will wait until he gets into his office. If it's not today, maybe tomorrow, and we can move forward to find out some more things. Thanks so much to Opal. Thanks so much to Daniel Z. Bosworth. This morning show was really interesting. Remember that Lumi Matters come up on Wednesday. We're having Lumi Matters, and that is supposed to be a good look. You know, we want to stress that Lumi Matters is not just some little simple money thing we're dealing with. I'm gonna have some to show you. Barbados school nutrition policy to start next week. International news. Dominican keeps job at Caribbean Resort and Spa. I mean, hotel management change. We also looking at epidemiologists called for a worldwide pandemic warning system. My God, you won't stop with that rubbish, eh? And St. Kitts and Nevis official gazette to be available for public online. We're also looking at Grenada benefits from OECS integral biological waste management team. Wow, so much things. Let's go over to Grenada for a minute and see if there's anything that we can draw from as far as getting some energy. I know we have a brethren over there, and you know, a lot of people they follow us online, and we respect Grenada. My God, yeah, we have a lot of people that is available there. I think we're celebrating the big celebration over there in Grenada. So you know, I wish I would get some form of greeting in this morning. It says that a lot of things going over there. We could find out, of course, international Becca of South Africa to lead Commonwealth election observation team to Nigeria. Another piece that is coming in also is Belize poultry industry receive trade and market access boost and reduce pollution to combat superbug and other micro resistance. Wow, a lot of things going. We have the big earthquake. UN agency launch emergency response after devastating Turkey and Syria earthquake. That's a big thing right there that is needed to elaborate on. We know that there's a lot of brothers and sisters who've been affected by that. So, you know, we're going to get some of our brothers and sisters with that sort of link. I wonder if my virgin Billy Dean is available in the UK. We're following that story over there where this young lady was beaten. Yes, and I think another one. Grand Rising Billy, how you doing?
King, everything all right? You good?
Well, look how them beat a little Maroon queen over there, Billy. What is the tension on the ground, Billy? Is people marching? What is happening over there in the UK? The beating.
Well, we contacted the school. The school have said that they wanna, they're gonna send me an audio from the headmaster that's gonna with an apology and things like that. But there's a lot done. I mean, we own schools, and I don't see why so many of our people are sending our children to those kind of schools where, those white-owned schools. As you know, Too Bad I built a school. I run the Educators Network. We help people with homeschooling. There's lots of reasons, but we do need to improve the standard of the educators in those schools. But I think it made a valid point that the people responded to us and not to the government and Ofsted. But I'm very busy right now, brother. I was just in the middle of doing something.
I just wanted to get a little vibes on it to see if we're on top of that, because we have to keep a global watch.
Seeing King?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
They did chat.
Yeah,
all right, bless it.
That's Billy D right there, and of course it's of the Educational Network. We just touching base all over because we have the last 10 minutes of the show, and we're trying our best just to wrap it up and get everybody on the same page as we ought to be. In case you're just joining us, we were talking about a young lady that has been brutally beaten when it comes on to her stand as a Maroon. Oh Lord, there we go. Lots and lots of things. You know that I'm supposed to link Echo Mine at oh Lord, I need handmade woven basket and held. I'm going to have to cut it here, people. But of course, what's going to happen is join us tomorrow again. I'm going to do the replay, and it's going to take up quite a lot of time because this show was hot this morning, as you heard. we had a lot of information put out there by Opal. So we're going to look into these information and then return tomorrow. Because if we don't get Mr. Murder, we will get him for tomorrow. Because he tell me that he was going to be on board. I don't know if he got threatened or anything, but he's. Oh Lord, here goes Red. Yeah, Grand Rising Red. How you doing, Canada, this morning? How you doing?
I'm okay.
So no case.
Wondering where's the snow at though?
Where the snow at?
What happened to our snow? We ain't got no damn snow. Where is it?
The machine breakdown. The machine breakdown.
Where's the snow?
The machine.
We've only had 5 snow days.
Yeah, the machine breakdown. Because over here the sun hot like box cover and all that snow dry up off of the ground. People them say I best winter this time ever have, like winter getting extinct.
Well, I noticed some states in America over hot snow when they never had snow before.
Yeah, we're in a serious time.
Well, I'm kind of upset because they bought a snowblower.
Yes.
And it hasn't snowed. Like, where's the snow? I need to make some money off the snowblower.
No, it's not happening.
Yeah,
it's not happening like that. But what's popping in your neck of the woods over the Canada? Anything of concern coming up in your neck of the woods?
Oh, I heard. Did you see that thing on Instagram?
What is it?
Rebel News.
What is that?
Rebel News on Instagram. Oh, they talk about what's going on in our politics and stuff, and Justin supposedly had our Air Force shoot down a UFO.
Oh, stop the damn music. Over Canada, them shoot down a UFO?
Yeah. Just like in America, they shot down a big balloon. In America, they said that they think it came from China.
Mighty God, I tell you, we are being invaded by extraterrestrial forces.
Oh, man, they've been here for centuries.
Yeah, but they're showing up more prominent now.
Oh, because, well, a few of them have been captured at 51, and, you know, they've been hanging out there, and American government's been making their own little spaceships, too.
Jesus, peace, boy.
You live in America, you don't even know that?
No, hey,
I live in Canada, and I know that.
There's a lot of things I don't know, Red. There's a lot of things. I thought I knew it all, but I don't know crap. I don't know crap because they lie about every damn thing, you know.
They even remade dinosaurs.
They have real
good old America.
Real dinosaurs.
Good old. Yeah, the scientists that bring dinosaurs back. There's videos of them on Instagram too.
Jeez. yo.
Like Jurassic Park.
We're in a serious time. But as a musician, I didn't want to touch on this, but Rihanna shocked the world last night with her baby bump at the Super Bowl.
Oh, she got pregnant again?
Yeah, and not even 6 months after the baby born, she out there again, boy. She been jumping on that jolly.
What is her first baby? She got a boy, right?
I don't know. These celebrities just push out and hide them picnic, you know. They don't make anybody know what them have.
Well, it's about time. She's in her 30s. The hell? She should have had babies when she was 19, 20. Even up to 26.
Mighty God.
She's waiting. She's waited a long time to have a baby.
Yes. She did a lot of touring before she came to the table. But
well, remember when she was with Chris Brown? I don't know. I'm surprised he didn't get her pregnant.
Mighty God. So much.
Don't you remember when she was dating Chris Brown back in the day and he beat her up?
I vaguely remember she and the Chris Brown situation. I know that they weren't a topic, but you know, poor.
They were in their 20s back then.
Yeah. No, she's a national hero in Barbados. I can't believe the hero just getting a lot of heroes.
Oh, how is she a hero in Barbados? She's from Canada. Hello.
Hold on, Rihanna was born in Canada.
Yes.
No, sir. No, Rihanna is a Bayesian.
Yes, sir.
No, don't hear, man. Don't.
No. Unless her mother came here and married somebody from Canada and got papers to live here in Canada. You can't just come to Canada and live here.
Yeah, but listen, Rihanna is a full.
Remember, she grew up in Toronto. She's known Drake since she was a teen, a little teeny bopper.
Mighty God.
Remember from Toronto too.
I could swear that you are.
Drake was on that Degrassi High show that used to be on back in the 80s.
My God. I never know that. I don't
even like them. I don't even like them people because they sold their souls Illuminati. They're Satanists now. I don't like them people.
Well,
I don't follow them.
You know that the Satanists.
Oh, they're owned by the slave masters, man. They're puppets. They're puppets.
Those are the new bullies.
They're the puppets. Man, I'm telling you, 90% of the people in the Grammys and all that shit are all puppets. All naughty, everyone.
Well,
they've all sold their souls for money and fame.
People, Red Snapper Promotion, she has the latest comes on to getting that information out there. She don't put her mouth on ground.
I'm sending you videos from Instagram. Even Kevin Hart saying that he's been cloned. This is third clone of him.
Kevin Hart clone?
Yeah.
Yo.
There's a doctor here in Canada that clones people.
In Canada, they're cloning people now?
No, just Illuminati members.
My God, that means that they're supposed to
just Illuminati.
Maybe that's why them give Vibes Cartel the silver plaque, because they're out for clone him right now.
Oh, no. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they went down to the prison a couple years, about 2 or 3 years ago. They went down there.
And Busta Rhymes too. And Busta Rhymes.
Oh, Busta Rhymes been part of Illuminati. He's been sold his soul.
Yeah, from me seeing cut off him locks. From me see Busta Rhymes cut off him locks. Me know say Busta Rhymes kind of do a bit of selling.
I haven't liked Busta Rhymes since he went to Bob Marley's funeral and started singing his bullshit. I haven't liked him since then.
Oh Jesus.
The fuck is he doing singing shit?
Right.
I don't like him.
Boy,
I haven't liked him since then. I liked him before Bob Marley's funeral. But when he went to Bob Marley's funeral and did what he did at Bob Marley's funeral, no. I haven't liked him since then.
Not a pretty thing.
No.
Not a pretty thing. Hold on there. I think Minister Mark, give me 5 minutes of your time now. My God. Mark.
Go through.
Mark not bleed the country's pain over Jamaica pain. When you gonna stop cry over spoiled milk, Mark? The milk spoiling, Mark. Ain't no coming back.
Where talk about?
Yeah, me see you put up a post and say, boy, you're a national son of the soil, still trying to save the country that is under occupation or something like that. Because what you take on what's happening in your neck of the woods called Jamaica? There's so much things happening, Mark.
Get rid of the Chinese stock.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm working on the ground to change the government, and that's what I'm working on. So,
hold
on.
No, this is up Jamaica, moving to the people. So we are trying to figure out I'm accompanied the Jamaican Constitution, a true republic,
yes,
a recognition of all the indigenous people and their rights and responsibilities, a Jamaica that we can all be proud of. That deals with the attributes for development, more organic. We're trying to separate ourselves from the popular, so-called popular culture. Okay, to be apologetic Jamaica.
Before I go any further, my condolences. As it's a Mama Transcend, I love her very much, and she transcend. And I want say, I feel your pain as a brother. You know what I mean? Because I love my mother too. I know you love mama. We should have started with that first. You know what I mean? And I hope you be strong.
Well, I have to be, but one of the things that have allowed me to deal with it is that
yes,
she's gonna be buried on the 4th of March, which is one day after her 95th birthday.
Oh, wow.
She has not been herself for the last 8 months.
Okay.
And my mom, if you think I'm busy,
Wow.
my mom has been very, very busy. Yeah, she's a real busybody.
Yes.
So knowing how she is and what she had to deal with, I understand. I don't feel about it. She's in she's in a better place. It sounds cliche, but
yeah.
When you see a mother,
she's gonna get reincarnated.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see a mother not
next life.
yeah, when you see a mother not understand what's going on around her and not being in charge of her herself, you know, and losing her pride and her dignity.
Yes.
You know, I wouldn't want to be around either. You know, and she died in my sister's arms.
Yes.
My sister asked her to get up, to go to another to the bed. And she said, "Please, you have to get up." And she said, "Yes, mommy, please get up." And they, as they tried to help her to get up, the weight of her body and the life gone, and you know, that was it. But she lived. We had two full-time healthcare workers in the home.
Yes.
That took care of her last year and a half. So she got the very best care possible.
You know,
even when most would have put their parents in a nursing home, we had the opportunity and the blessing to provide full care for her.
Yes.
Down in her daughter's arms. I mean, what more do you want than that? I mean, that is like
in our own bed.
Textbook.
Yeah, in our own bed, no hospital bed around us.
Not surrounded by strangers, but her own family.
Yes, and she live out.
I did some videos with her, you know, even about the politics thing, and she said, "Mark, politics, corruption, don't get involved in it. And if you're gonna get involved in it, do it after I'm gone." Wow. I would not want that from us. I'm gonna send you the video. She said, "I would not want that from
Mama tell you, say, yo, me see, I be a good video. Me see with you and your mother still have fun and anything then, and that's why.
Me send that video to Brethren. It is very it is profound.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yeah, man.
Send it where?
Yeah, man, you can send it to my WhatsApp, you know what I mean? You know, and I'll get it on.
Send me a WhatsApp text just to bring up to the top so I can see where you come from.
Yeah, I will. Away from Mama Gia Stern one. Go ahead.
Well, but like I said, we've been going around the country and getting signatures to be recognized as a political entity in the country, and we have to.
Party?
It's called Up Jamaica Movement of the People. Our color
Give me my
is
number. I'll do some advertising for you.
But we're not going to do any advertising until we're registered, because we need to have all our telephones in order, our website, everything up. So when you come out, it's not joke business. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And what we're doing is bringing back the power to the people. And like I said, it sounds cliche, but we do not provide candidates for the constituencies. They provide them to us. So we were looking on every parish with a leader, and we vote for the minister or whoever the leader is separately. So we're moving away from the Westminster model into a Jamaican constitution with a Jamaican-inspired republic. Not the fake ones that are out there, but one that has real representation and inclusiveness, with checks and balances that prevent any person from liquidating Jamaican assets without the consent of the Jamaican people. We also believe that every Jamaican should own their own land free and clear. If Jamaica is supposed to be owned by Jamaicans, then we believe that anybody that does not have their own land should get their own land, and they build their own homes in the appropriate areas that we are going to vet so it does not impact our farming and our water supply, because as you know, we're on a septic system now in Jamaica. We've been at for many years, and the more we get, the population increases, our limestone land, all the refuse goes, it's very porous. It goes into aquifers. So we have to have areas that are designed for proper sewage. And if we're building homes, they're built in a way that public transportation is accessible. So in other words, I'm don't build a place into the boondocks and expect Jamaicans to just find their way to where they work. No, it's going to be a comprehensive approach in terms of development, housing development, and our manufacturing capabilities. So we have people that are trained to looking on how and what we have in Jamaica that the world needs, because as you know, economies are driven by either your skills or your product. So we have not been looking on what we in Jamaica can produce to sell the world. We are mostly trading among ourselves, which is almost like inhaling the same oxygen, and it gets crowded. We can only survive as a country if we can export more. And do less. I'm doing an event called Sobe in with a whole bunch of different restaurants. We have about 35 different types of vegetables that are known to be edible, and they've studied what they consist of and their nutrients and all of that. Do you know there's about 8,000 plants that we have not even have access to, that we can actually create something out of, create a good meal out of them. But we have not think about these plants. In World War II, England, when they were having trouble getting supplies, they put sawdust into flour to make bread. Sawdust to make bread. You can Google it for yourself. It's a known fact, because they were damn near starving when doing World War II. Now look at all the plants that we have, the greenery around. The monkey don't plant nothing in a virgin. They just go from tree to tree and eat what them can eat, and them good. Now I'm saying to you, we need to have more investigations with all the plants we have around in Jamaica. We need some investigations on seaweed, right? Irish moss. Why people are now drinking Irish moss. Somebody did some investigations. We have stopped doing these necessary things that are important for food security. So we have to. We're looking at a comprehensive approach to changing Jamaica, how we look on ourselves, our lack of self-esteem, our need, or materialistic attitudes that have paralyzed us in the context of corruption. Most of the people that are corrupt because they want things to appear to be accepted. We have moved away from the content of people's character into how you look and the car you drive that makes you feel important. And that is a legacy from colonialism and slavery. Most rich people are not adorned with all these jewels and all that kind of stuff to prove. But we, who have been looked down on and degraded, we feel it necessary to wear our riches on our bodies. And ignoring the key aspect of humanity, which is love of your brother, dealing with people as equals, no discrimination, and looking out for each other. That's what we have ignored. So for the last 2 days, I've been writing a lot of poetry.
I see it.
I wrote one recently, about our people. I can read it if you like.
Yeah, man, I'll give you some time.
It says, our people, surviving by any means after helping others realize their dreams. Existing from day to day is no child's play. Finding food and a place called home, or just finding shelter for the day. The ignorant castigate and cannot relate to African descendants slate something and preaching, pulling up our bootstraps when it's barefoot walking, Babylon stalking, oppressing for an ounce of weed with wife and children to feed. Silver and while Africans must make bread out of a decree from the queen on her throne. Independence is like giving a dog a bone, thinking it's our lands, but with a crown on title, Jano is just on loan. Freedom is a must when individual responsibility is like a sail, catching winds of opportunity too bountiful for a pro box, but tonnage necessary for a tractor trailer or by rail. Yet the wheels of opportunities keep moving on without us, as sister to sister and brother to brother, living as adversaries and dwelling in mistrust. So what it means is that we have to come together, all Jamaican, Maroon people, indigenous people, everybody, to remove colonial scourge implemented by the two political parties from the cooperation, as you rightfully talk about, right? But what you must understand, though, Rasguda, what you have to understand, right?
Yes, sir.
You sometimes have to get people by their own means. And once you get the validation from the Jamaican people by way of votes, you have the opportunity to make the change, the necessary change that we have talked about in previous conversations. So, unless you plan on taking up your guns and arms and go fighting these people who are financed, they're well financed and coordinated by the colonial powers. It's a losing battle, and our minds are not there right now. Well, a lot of Jamaicans are not there.
I really want to text you. I don't want to say it on the radio, but I want to text you an idea that you can make millions of dollars on.
As to what?
That you have already there in Jamaica.
Well, let me say this to you, right? If the millions of dollars can empower the Jamaican people, I'm all for that. As far as personal for me,
yes.
I'm not into that in a sweetheart.
No, I mean, like, you can employ people to help.
Okay.
Make money. You get what I'm saying? All you need is a piece of land, and I'm going to tell you what to do.
Well, is my number showing up there, Rascadas? Do you see my number there?
Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you can send to me, because I have a lot of ideas, I'm an ideas person. I don't have the help. Right now I'm doing furniture. Yeah. I'm doing sauces.
What type of furniture you make?
I make all kinds of furniture out of guango, man, and fallen trees, trees that have
how much do you charge for couches and beds and things like that?
Oh, what is one?
It depends. It depends on what you have.
When you finish, you go call him.
I have different kinds, you know. You can look on. You know, I even repurposed old furniture and put a new face on them and new wood and nice Jamaican wood. You know
that even guy here in Canada does that. He's gotten rich from doing it.
Really? Well, I do it because I'm a creative person, not because for the money or what. But the stuff I did recently, I did for myself. You know. And if people see it and want it, if I'm not busy, and I'm not busy, I'll do it for them. But like I said, the biggest issue we have in Jamaica now is that people don't want to work. You know, that's the youngsters are not into.
Do you really want to work if you're only getting $1,500 a week?
No, you don't. But and I've seen the other side of Jamaicans that are working for nothing, and they're working hard.
Yes.
So it's just who that you're dealing with and their value system. For instance, I bought some equipment for a guy who makes furniture. It cost almost, let me see, about 4,000 US in for the guy. And I said, listen, man, you can use my material to do your own work. But I'm buying the material so you could assist me in building things that I want. My only requirement of you is whatever time that you give me that is going to be finished, that you stick to the schedule.
Yeah.
I gave him the equipment. He started immediately using his own work, which I didn't care because that's part of the plan. He told me I'd have my product in 2 weeks. After a month and a half, I went back. I figured I'd give him more time. When I went back, he hadn't even started my project yet. And he was using my equipment to continue doing his work.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took it off of the table. I said, listen, I can't work with you. And he want go on with badness. I have to make him know, say, you're my youth. Don't make the sweet talk, you know, bridge. And don't make the car and how me look fool you.
Yeah.
I say, give me the equipment, I feel me one, and I take them if you don't like that, you can do something about it.
Yes, sir.
I'm prepared for anything you want to do. You know, see it. So what I say, but I really want to deal with badness for deal with my thing because it's not that deep. So if I give you something to do, and we have an arrangement, integrity allows you to follow through on what we agree on. And if you have no integrity, I can't work with you. You understand? You don't have the common courtesy of calling me and saying, so, we never start your work yet. After you promised me I'd have it in 2 weeks. And a month and a half now, you don't touch my thing, and you still use my equipment to do your work. No, I can't work with you. So I take the equipment and sell a little sister who have a little workplace down here at Barclays Wood in Mandeville.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guitar less than the cost I'm going to pay for it. You know? So now when I build stuff, I do it myself, and I do it when I have the time to do it. So until I can get a crew together that I trust, I don't really not take on them kind of work anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
I have just a minute left over, but Mark, we have to talk because there's so much thing, but I wanted to just call you on behalf of Mama, you know what I mean, and let you know personally, say, yo, you know, you're a brother, and I want you to be strong, because, you know what I mean, I want you to know that, because I see the energy, and there's so much things you're trying to do to keep yourself busy, you know what I mean, you're trying to revamp our brothers and sisters to look in a different direction for progress, which, you know, it now gonna take a day to do, but it is a start, and I applaud you for them thing there. And we're going to get more into, after you put down Mama and thing, you know what I mean, I want to have a chat with you, because there's a lot of things that you bring come to the table, and with us, I never dream I'd hear you talk certain way, but you're talking in a sense right now where this was where our introduction started, and I see you have grown. I have grown also, so you know we have some work to catch up. I just want to make you know.
Mark, I just messaged you on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Okay, see that. Yeah, man. So we just have to come together, you know.
Yes, sir.
And have one Caribbean. I'd love to see the whole Caribbean become one region. If we're one region, we're unstoppable. We don't need anybody else. Do you understand that?
Tell you how we
if we
have the
Caribbean people come together, we don't need anybody else and their bad influences. You know, Simar put Bolt. You know, Simar put Bolt in a frack, my youth.
Yeah, but Bolt was in frack a long time. Bolt was in frack from long time. I just we as people.
No, but what I'm saying is that there. Okay, if another person did it, I wouldn't care as much. But when you use your icons to be court jesters and look like buffoons, I don't like it.
No, but
I don't like it.
No, but some of
Some
our
people
you have to face the fact that some of our people who we are held in high esteem, they are involved in a lot of things that the people don't know about. So now we see Bolt in our frack. Bolt in our frack a long time.
Okay, but what I say here, right? No, okay. What I'm saying to you, see, is that you know nobody bedroom for some deal. What I know about Bolt is that him love woman.
Yeah.
Sin?
Yeah.
But from what I know, from what I'm seeing,
that was a commercial that Bolt had done a long time ago.
I know, but I understand that. But what I'm saying to them, I'm seeing an effort by some groups to feminize, if that's a word, our men. I make them look less than
nobody no force Bolt for going and dress. Him go put on a frock.
I understand that. So
why would Bolt a boy from Trelawney? No, a boy will come from Trelawney. We know. So we not go for them thing there. What would ever persuade you saying Bolt to put on a frock?
I put up a post this morning, right? And let me tell you something. So the amount of comments on it went both sides. Those people are fractured, man. Listen, you have to tell a call about them.
Yeah.
You have to go here.
Yes, sir. As you're saying, Reds, that is, I saw that picture, and we cannot take responsibility for our so-called people that is our so-called idol when them have them own private nastiness a go on. Because Bolt no point blank said, we no want a man in a frock, and him put on a frock. So him take up that upon himself, not us. You know, and this is where I'm going to leave you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on Reds. You're still with us. Yeah, Reds is there, but I'm going to leave it right here for this morning. Tomorrow we can talk more about the Usain Bolt situation, but for right now, this is how I'm going to leave you. I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. Most importantly, the Almighty God that created heaven and earth love you even more. If you cannot be good, be careful. Until we link up tomorrow morning on the energy again. Jah guide. Yeah, man, we need to help one another. I like all the comments we are going on, and just go and push it out and keep it real. This is how I'm going to leave you. Let me get back to this song here that we were playing. Yo, we're gonna replay the thing in time we done. For those who didn't hear the link, we're going to play it when we're done. All right.
Hey, oh yeah, this honorable court is now in session.
Will the prosecution please present your opening statement?
Yes, Your Worship.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Some people in Total are telling me I should get into politics. You ain't afraid to sing about corruption while others biting their lip. You better get that idea right out your mind, cause I can't handle that stress. In some kind of scampishness, when they shake your hand and they call you friend, tell them they lie. For your best interest they say they looking. Tell them they lie. When they make promise before election, watch them straight in the eye. A pack of wolf in sheep clothing, they're too damn lie. They only want power, forget public future.
Counselor, please call your first witness.
Your worship, we call the government to the stand on charges of corruption in the labor department. The government in the sunshine promise they looking out for we best interest. Like the labor minister fall asleep, that department is in a mess. The one you have in Virgin Gorda, you need to get rid of she. I hear she bank account getting fat for taking bribery money. When they tell you that they will rearrange, tell them they lie. Equal rights for all, boy, they telling tales. Tell them they lie. When they say they don't stand for corruption, watch them right in the eye. All of them is the same damn thing. They do damn lie. Selling out money, forget about their country. They do damn lie.
Counselor, next witness, please.
Your worship, the prosecution calls the police department to the stand.
Officers, that you are still under oath.
The police department like you don't see. They out of hand, freedom criminals and drug dealers in police uniform. They one always on the radio, professing to be Christian. All he good for is campishness and running outside woman. When they tell you they will protect and serve, tell them they lie. Try to fool you with all of them sweet words. Tell them they lie. When the boat with drugs come from St. Martin, their involvement they will deny. You getting paid to cover it up, you too damn lie. Locking up them rasta, friend with them coke dealer. You too damn lie.
Counselor, are you ready to bring on your next witness?
Your worship, we call the churches to the stand, charged with deceiving faithful followers and sexual assault of minor females.
Objection, your worship.
Overrule. I really want to hear what counsel has to say about this. I'll allow it.
The churches and them just get involved in dirty politics. They say they come in the name of God, but them pastors full of tricks. If you see how they drive in fancy car and how they're living so well, sexing all them young girls in church while followers catching hell. When they want your ex in the name of God, tell them they lie. The hardest part of hell will be your reward. Tell them they lie. And if he visit your house regularly, you should ask yourself why. Is your daughter he going? He too damn lie. On the pulpit preaching, think it's God he fooling.